Dean, something crazy happened this past week.
Again? There's something
Again.
crazy every day.
Dude, it seems like it. Anything you can sign with a pin, just fucking left and right. They resurrected direwolves.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the first time in like, what, 10,000 years or something?
10,000, well, depending on the leap years, but yeah, 10,000 approximately.
I heard 12,000.
Well, that's, I think, if you account for leap years.
Hmm.
Wow, look at this wolf. It's beautiful.
Well, they're only babies right now. That's
They're
No,
huge. They're
6
5
months
months
old.
old.
They're
Yeah,
7
they're
months
quite
old.
large.
the ones I was looking at. It was a video of them, and they were still like little babies, like Kevin size.
Yeah, I think those.
Well, yeah,
were
that was when they were
initial
first born.
Pictures and stuff, but yeah, they didn't actually release anything.
Oh, they
until,
never.
Until just
Yeah,
now.
they never. In the video, they didn't show any like grown wolves.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I'm curious, what do you guys want to see resurrected next? Obviously,
They said woolly mammoths by 2028 or something like that.
Yeah.
damn, did they really?
That'd be fucking dope, dude.
You know what's hilarious? I think it was the Jurassic Park Twitter profile that retweeted their thing, and they're like, "Oh, nothing's gonna go wrong from
Yeah,
this.
nothing
right?
bad could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean is correct. They're dire wolves, but they're just wolves with extra genes.
Yeah,
you're
they
not
had said
incorrect.
they'd said what that they supposedly share 99.5% of the same, and it's just that
Right.
0.5% that they had to change. But
The
so
activated-
I don't know anything about the direwolves other than Game of Thrones. Are they that big, or were they that big?
I don't think as
Right?
big
'Cause
as
in
in
Game
the
of
show.
Thrones, they were the size of like a pony.
No,
Yeah,
I
they're
don't think.
fucking huge.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Zeus is almost the size of a horse, so probably.
Right. That's what I didn't know.
We're
If,
good.
if
Yeah, I
they
mean, have
actually
you
were that
seen
big?
wolves compared to dogs?
Yeah.
Wolves are huge. So
It's like
if
mice compared
direwolves
to
are
rats.
even bigger,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're probably talking maybe like the size of like a lion or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wolves are significantly bigger than just regular dogs. So
Well, the biggest cats were like the size of like horses or something, weren't they?
yeah,
Like
like
at some
saber
point.
tooths.
So like you would imagine there's probably some equivalent on the dog side, the canine side, right?
You think they'll do like dodos?
I don't think so.
Dude, I was just gonna bring that up.
Why
I seen
not?
this
But
video
that'd be interesting if they did
that there
bring
was
back, like, some
supposedly a
extinct-
sighting of a dodo.
Well, yeah, there's 4 or 5 of us right here. Just kidding. Really? And where?
Wow.
Weren't they
I
in like
don't remember-
Madagascar? Where
I
did
don't
dodos
remember
at?
where the country was at, but it was like one of those. You know how they put cameras like
Overseas.
in the middle of like the woods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And apparently they caught a dodo, and everybody's saying
Really?
like, "Damn, we're
Gameplay.
getting
Nice.
dodos back and dire wolves back before GTA 6." It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I would like to see woolly mammoths or like I said, like a saber tooth would be fucking sick.
Dude, saber-tooth
But-
would be pretty sick. Or a megalodon, dude.
Dude,
Bro.
Isn't that the plot of the Meg?
The Meg, dude.
But
What about it?
what is the point other than just to say that they can't?
I think that's it.
I
Right?
think
'Cause,
that
I
is
mean,
the point.
They're never going
Well,
to be
they
able to
do-
release these into the wild.
Well, that's the goal. The guy, the CEO said eventually they
That's
want to
crazy.
rewild them. I think is the term he used.
Yeah, but that's so the ecosystems are so fucking fragile that it's like
Yeah.
the ecosystems are already used to not having them. So to reintroduce them would be catastrophic, I imagine.
Yeah. You
But
would
I think
so.
it's also to help species not go extinct. But also, yeah, I don't know.
They should do that for the rhino, the white rhino,
Yeah,
or
that
whatever
would
the
make
one that we have the
sense.
statue of in the zoo. Because there are only 3 left.
Well, don't they supposedly have like a problem with the wolves in Yellowstone? Like they can't get fucking rid of them. There's like too
I thought
many
there was
of them or
not
something
enough
like that.
of them. Something like that. Dude, that's wild times, Dean. Wild times that we live in.
Oh yeah.
Where's my fucking button? God damn it.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Mike.
Badfish.
And I'm Fern.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank you guys for watching, catching us live in the YouTube studio audience or on the replay, wherever you're catching us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Zipzorp, all kinds of shit. Zach puts it out there and people listen. So thank you.
Appreciate you guys. We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. There is not a ton of news, but I think the news that we do have is very relevant to the whole stratosphere of collecting. Obviously talking about tariffs. We will bring that up in about the middle of the show, so stay tuned for that. Dean, before we get into any of this Jim Jam or Joe Jam or whatever you just said, we got a very Zipzorp. We got a very special segment that we start off all of our best shows with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I did have some new this week. I went over them on Small Talk. But I'll show off my favorite one right now. It's the Cloud Polygon figure. He's 6 inches tall instead of like the little 1-inch one. It's super cool. It's kind of soft, but he has some articulation. He was only like $25, so I picked him up because that's my boy.
Nice. How much was that?
It just said he was like $25.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know what the fuck. I was thinking of a dick joke to make, and it took up all of my focus to not do it. Mike, you got new this week also. Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that, bro. I was like, do I pull the trigger so early? It's only 8 minutes into the show. I was gonna say 1 inch is honestly a huge figure.
Never second guess yourself, Zach.
I'm just gonna pull the trigger next time. Mike, look at this figure.
Yeah, man, the Kento Studios. I don't know what they actually call it, but it's the suit from the Justice League Bruce Wayne. That's the JL Deluxe Hot Toys head sculpt on there, and a custom base courtesy of Mike's Adventure World. Yeah, really impressed with this. This is my first Kento outfit, if you will, and I like it a lot. The tailoring's really good, the fit's really good. It's got the wiring along the bottom of the coat, so you can kind of get that wind effect going. Yeah, pretty impressed. So if anybody's hesitant on it, go ahead and pull the trigger. I think you'd be happy.
I've actually had this one in my car.
Jesus
for
Christ,
a while.
Fern. Check your microphone, Fern.
I put echo cancellation off.
Yeah, but did you crank it to fucking 200?
Well, hang on. Try it now. Fern, stop pressing buttons for love of God. Try it now.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Please, for the love of God, don't touch buttons back there.
Okay.
All right, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, so you just have a Ben Affleck figure in your collection?
Yeah, listen, I had a couple rules when I started. It was going to be no vehicles and no just guys in suits. And I broke both of those rules in the same week. Yeah, but I had gotten the Clark Kent version from a different company, so I kind of wanted to pair him with that. So yeah, I'm breaking all the rules.
What were you trying to say?
It's not a Ben Affleck figure; it's a Bruce Wayne figure. Okay.
Wow. What makes it Bruce Wayne?
Because it's fucking Bruce.
Expensive
it's
suit.
Bruce Wayne.
I feel like Ben Affleck wears expensive suits.
Nah, dude, he dresses like shit when he's in public. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Motherfucker dresses like Adam Sandler and shit.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
But I was gonna say, I've actually had
won
this.
that round, Dean.
I've had this set on in my cart for a while. Do you own any the Topo Studios suits?
Not yet. I actually have one on the way, so maybe next week.
I've been wanting to see a comparison between Topo and Kento, because for me, I feel like Topo's like the best tailored suits.
Yeah, they're supposed to be kind of the head of the pack, right? So I did actually order the Topo Bank Robber Joker set.
Nice.
So hopefully that'll be here maybe by next week if we're lucky. So I'll at least be able to compare, the quality and the tailoring and stuff to them. But I really like this a lot. I think this is really good. It's heads and tails better than the Clark Kent one that I got, which whatever that company was, it's slipping my mind.
With the super brown hands.
Yeah, so I may actually pick up the Clark Kent version that Kento put out too, to maybe kind of piece them together, because there are some good pieces in that previous set, but just overall not great. So
there you go.
But yeah, no, it's really good. The shoes are good. Like I said, the tailoring's really nice on it. The fit of the suit is good. I took the coat off and I was messing with it earlier. It's good. I'd recommend it.
There you go. We got Toy Mafia, Jason Nelson, Ermac, Sean Forrester, Sam Gist, Darth Amaris, Trevor Weed, Mike, let's see, Equan, Fig Poser, Dean the Goat, Uriel C, Spare No Expense, let's see here, Harry Dempsey. They're insisting on turning our childhood IPs into cautionary documentaries. I believe, let me make sure I'm not mistaken. Harry Dempsey's our newest Patreon, so thank you, Harry, for joining Patreon. I believe I got everything updated for the end of the show, but yeah, round of applause. Roberto M166, Charlie the Unicorn, King Dingaling, Moose in the chat. Let's see, I got my Tumblr finally. This was the only thing collecting wise that I had, for figures at least, on my vision board for the year. Really glad to have scratched this one off. I do know that the cockpit is not closed properly in this photo, but it was the best photo I took of it, and so that's the photo you get. But damn, this thing is sick. Really like that the power switch is easily accessible. It's right on the side of the vehicle, and I was kind of worried that it would be on the underside, same with the battery compartment, but yeah, it's a cool vehicle. The member that I got it from asked not to be mentioned by name, but shout out to them. They gave me a great deal, and were really kind to hold it for me for a few months. But yeah, it's super cool. I think I have a picture here of my current setup. I'm still kind of figuring out how I want to display everything. I think I'm going to get more of these like generic bases, and because it's kind of weird that Batman's so tall. But
this photo tripped me out, and it sent me into like a 20-minute like Google image search.
Okay.
In my mind's eye, the Tumblr is so much bigger than this.
It's really not that big.
It's not. And I was like, when I saw this, I was like, did they like underscale this? Because like,
I believe they did though. I believe it is slightly underscaled.
Slightly. Because like, I feel like if you put like a 1/12 scale figure next to that, is how my brain thinks of the Tumblr.
Yeah.
It's like a tank.
Yeah.
But when you see it, driving around on screen, or them getting in and out of it, it's really not that big.
No, it's really not.
So it's like, am I fucking going crazy? I'm sure, I was, because it's not that big.
This is a photo of a dude sitting on the wheel. It's really not that big.
It's not that big at all. And
it can fit. It could fit in a regular lane of traffic.
Yeah, because like when you watch the movie, they do like a bunch of miniature stuff, and I feel like it's like larger than life,
Yeah,
and so I think it doesn't help that Batman is so tall next to it on this base. But even then, I was like, is it that small? But yeah, this looks fucking good, man. I like the bike on the other side with the Catwoman, the Bane. You just need a Joker.
Well, I think I'm good on that. because then I gotta get the Scarecrow, and it's just if I'm gonna get
Ra's al Ghul.
anything, I do want a Ra's al Ghul, actually. This is gonna be my next purchase, the camel tumbler, I think.
Camel toe?
I want this thing so fucking bad, bro. This thing is
They
beautiful.
made that in 6
that
scale?
fat fish.
Hot Toys, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I want this thing so fucking bad. But yeah, shout
Zach,
out
did
to
you want it in 6 scale?
yeah.
Really?
I've
never
had a
loved that
chance to
color
buy them
scheme.
twice. Sorry,
I think
what were you saying?
I was just saying I never loved that color scheme. I guess I just love the blacked out one. So the blacked out one looks so much better. But,
Ooh,
Zach, is the
Congrats,
the
though.
power
Looks
source?
great.
Can you hook it up to a smart plug, or is it like the DeLorean where it's you gotta hit the button?
I don't know. There's not a button, it's a switch.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I don't know for sure. I left it on for quite a while and it didn't turn off. But
If
I
it's
and
a
I also
switch,
don't
there's a good chance you can use the smart plug then.
Yeah, I also don't know if I want to keep it on that long. Maybe a few hours a day, if anything. Yeah, it's a really cool vehicle. Mine did have one small broken flap issue thing, but it's like a brass cylinder, so I'm just gonna 3D print, like redesign it in Tinkercad, and then just print it. And like I have one good version of it, so I can just scale the measurements off of it, and it's all the way in the back that you'll never see. It's like back here, so it's really not a big deal for the price that I paid. I'm
I
perfectly
got him
happy.
$50 off.
It almost did, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. The guy offered, but I was like, I'm not gonna.
Do a chargeback.
No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's really cool. The only thing,
Mike.
part of me, I want the bike to be at the same angle as the Batmobile, but it doesn't really work that way. And I could scoot Bane over, but then from the angle that I'm looking at it at, he'll be covered by the frame of the shelf, and it doesn't look quite as good. So I'm still trying to figure this out, but yeah, it's really cool. In my unboxing yesterday, I also didn't fully understand how to open the cockpit, so it's kind of like a third open, but ignoring that, it was just a quick little, let's shoot a quick thing and be done with it. But yeah, it's really cool. And then putting yesterday was the first day I also opened the Bat Pod from Trevor, and so that was a really cool experience as well. So but yeah, shout out to everyone that pitched in to make this shelf happen. I got the Bane from Ben. Obviously all you guys pitched in for the DX19, and then Trevor gave me the Bat Pod, and then Equan gave me Catwoman. So it's a pretty sweet shelf. Got a lot of my friends that have contributed to make it happen, and then obviously a listener for the Tumblr. So I don't think I could be happier, to be honest. But yeah, let's get into some news. We have CW Plus tonight. We're talking nostalgic toys from the 90s as voted by the Patreon members. We will be putting another poll next week, and yeah, you guys can decide what we talk about. Ermac, I think this is meant to represent the steps of Gotham Town Hall or Gotham Downtown.
Yeah, I think it was the Capitol building.
The Capitol building, thank you, when he fights Bane
When
at
he
the end.
fights Bane.
You know what annoys the hell out of me on that thing?
Where Bane rallies.
He rallies like Bane.
That stand, the second step up is off-centered, and I don't know why they didn't just center it. It pisses me off. Like, so see the
I've
second
never seen that.
step on the left, it goes all the way to the end and cuts, but on the right, it steps down. You see what I'm saying? It's not like the same length.
Oh, maybe it's like a corner.
Yeah, I
building,
know, but
maybe?
it's just annoying. It's like you could just make it the full length. They're the same
Yeah.
length. You know what I'm saying? It's always annoyed me about that base.
I see it.
All
I
about
believe
that
it.
base.
Now you're never gonna not see it.
Collecting weekly channel membership starting at 99 cents a month, $2.99 if you're not a Patreon. You get some loyalty badges, custom chat emojis, and Did They Cause Baby, the show where Dean answers the question, Did they cause baby? We are starting with, honestly, in my opinion, the worst thing I've ever seen from Hot Toys. It's Darth Maul concept art version, which I don't even, it is a Hot Toys exclusive, but I think only the box sleeve is exclusive, because there was another photo of another version that had a different box that didn't say exclusive. To be honest, I really don't know what's going on here, but
Ew.
he wrapped a string around his head and he's wearing Nightmare Batman's cloak, and I just honestly could not care less about this character, let alone this version of this character, let alone this stupid ass exclusive box art version of this stupid ass character. So I don't fucking you guys there, I'm gonna leave a lot of meat on the bones because I don't give a shit about
Don't
this.
hold back, Zach. Let us know how you feel.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, I'm with Zach. I'm so sick of Darth Maul. I feel like, speaking objectively, of no fault of Hot Toys, right? Because they didn't design this; they just made it into a toy.
Yes, to be clear, my issue is not with Hot Toys.
Right. I think they executed this very well. I like it's almost like a bone armor on top of like a Jedi robe, which is kind of cool looking. I feel like the colors are off. If this was any other color, this would look kind of cool. Like if this was like a charcoal gray, like his gauntlets and his leg armor, and the robes were black, I think it would look a lot cooler than it does currently. I think this looks just fucking stupid. Again, no fault of Hot Toys. Speaking objectively, I think they nailed whatever this is supposed to be. It looks good. The Darth Maul portrait is strong. The horns are weird. Again, not a Hot Toys problem. Just the horns are really weird. It's just not a good design. So I think Hot Toys did their best. I think any Darth Maul collector will be happy with this. I think. But dear God, I hate it. I fucking don't like any single thing about this, personally, at all.
Yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. I will say that to me, this is dead on what a limited convention exclusive should be, though, right? It should be something that not everybody wants, that is kind of a niche thing. And, maybe because of that, and if it has a low enough number, maybe it's something that's sought after later and, actually holds some value. The one thing I'll say is I was doing a search, just a Google image search of Darth Maul concepts, and there's a number of different designs out there, and goddamn, they picked the worst possible one. So if you can, when you guys have time, Google those and check out some of the other options out there. Some of this could have been really fucking cool, and I think they picked the absolute worst looking one. So it's a no for me, but like I said, I think it's exactly what these exclusive special show editions should be. So I'm glad that they're not putting something in there that, a lot of people would want. So give them credit for that.
Looking at this figure gives me a headache. Like, seeing how the horns are all, like, crooked and manipulated with the strings. And man, it's just a horrible looking figure, honestly. And I'm with Dean and Zach. Like, I'm just tired of seeing Darth Maul. This is definitely the Heath Ledger Joker of Star Wars, 100%.
That's a fucking point. That's a good fucking point.
Tired of that red rocket.
I don't really have much to say about this, to be honest.
That's good.
Yeah, this is I think everyone's kind of said it's an easy pass, but like Mike said, it's a good exclusive, but yeah, not for myself either. But glad we got the Darth Maul that we actually did, because man, if they would have put this in the movie, man, would have really would have hurt that Duel of the Fates reveal.
Right. Comes out wearing a fucking high collar
string on his head. That's the worst part, is the string.
They're sliding down his forehead when he fights. They get his eyes.
It reminds me of like
a turtle that gets caught in a net and it's fucking all deformed.
No, like in like certain cultures, every time someone has a birthday, they put like a ring around their neck, and they have like like crazy long necks.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like that. It's like, well, let's start binding his horns when he's young. That way, when he's old,
that's what it reminded me of. Yeah, like,
he'll look like a fucking idiot.
The armor, I could like I don't like it, the color, but the string on the head is the that's the crossing the line. You know what I'm
saying? There you go. Let's see what else we got. Now there was a post floating around on OSR of the exclusive items for Celebration. Now I will say, what's the word here? Tinfoil hat theory. There is a graphic that has been running around by Hot Toys, and there is the first 5 slots are filled, and one of those first 5 is empty, so people think there might still be another 1/6 scale exclusive for Celebration. Not sure if that's going to really be accurate or not, but that's the theory going around. But yeah, we have the Galen Urso, we have the Stormtrooper, which I still think is excellent. I think that's actually amazing.
That helmet, yeah,
it's so beautiful, bro.
I gotta say, it looks better than the like other pick. Looks better than the like the promo picks, to be honest. But
really,
if that's the backdrop you get though, God, look at that flimsy piece of card. They couldn't even have it stay closed on the on the octagon, on the hexagon shape below. It's like splayed out. Maybe it's
the corners are already warped.
Yeah, it's like Jesus.
To me, that robe is atrocious.
The robe I hate, to be honest.
It looks like an
probably
afterthought.
Not put the robe on it, but the armor with the paintwork on the armor, like at least where there's like it looks like a paint splatter, but it's obviously the rose, the blossoms, but that paint splatter, I guess is the way I'll put it, looks really cool.
Yeah, because you could buy this without the robe, so it's like the robe is also an incentive, but like the tailoring looks awful. Like look at the shoulder area.
It looks bad. Yeah, it looks like a bad bathrobe that you bought for like $5.
Not a robe.
Yeah, it's like a Temu robe, and then
I mean, I think it's supposed to be kind of baggy.
It looks like a robe though, Zach.
No, but the bagginess isn't the issue.
Ignorant sluts.
It's just like the material they use, the tailoring, and then the actual printing of the Sakura flowers is like fuzzy. It's not even like clear. It's just not good.
Bless you.
It's the Sakura tree, the cherry blossoms. You fucking
that was a
uncultured
Sakura.
swines.
Bro, this figure actually doesn't look bad. The Darth Vader, minus the cape, I should say. It looks much better in this photo than I felt like it looked in any of the other photos. But again, I really think it needs that treatment on the cape and the tabards. But, you know, we'll see when people get it in hands and start to pose it, what it really looks like.
Yeah, you're 100% about the cloth not having any of the highlights on it. Really kind of throws it off. But if you look, kind of how you were talking about last week, Zach, they actually pose this in the right way, right? They
exactly.
actually have it lined up where all the highlights are hitting the right way. So, you know, your posing is going to be limited, but yeah, when it hits, it does look pretty sweet.
For sure. Absolutely agree. Let's see here. Jazz Inc. Diorama did also update. This is for their 1960, I believe 68 Batmobile, which is very similar to the, I believe it's a 66. I know when they had announced it, they said there were enough differences between this and the previous one that they were, going to go forward with this. I think the number one difference that you'll see here is this isn't that mirror black gloss finish. It's more of a satin matte finish. And so, yeah, these were just posted, I think, a few hours ago before the show. So I'm not claiming to be a Batman expert from this television show, but thought it'd be worth showing out to you guys. But yeah, I like the red. It almost looks pink, but I think again that was something that they mentioned is accurate to this version of the television show. And again, I really like the matte finish or satinish finish on it. which is, of course, as mentioned, more accurate to this program. So, yeah, it looks
Is it
pretty
a
good.
bug?
Not for me. I think it is a bug. Yeah, a little fly. A little fly.
He's like,
Famous fly.
damn, this car is nice. I love that Batmobile design. It's so cool.
Yeah, I certainly don't have the eye between the 66 and the 68 to know what any of the differences are, other than the paint finishes. But yeah, it's one sexy vehicle, man. I remember when the first version came out, I was really interested in it. I didn't want to add this line to my collection, so I steered away, but it was definitely tempting.
There you go.
Yeah, I also don't know the differences between the other one. Was the 66 was it licensed, or was it before they had the license?
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was before.
Are you sure? I'm almost 100% sure it was licensed.
Because if it was before it was licensed, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it again this time as the licensed company.
I'm almost certain it was licensed. Let's see.
I mean, it certainly could be.
like
I
it
just feel like
was.
that came out a while ago, and they just
Yeah,
got
it
the
was.
license, like,
Yeah,
2
they
years
have
ago.
all the branding on the packaging and everything. It's definitely licensed.
Yeah,
This, I think, was their bless you. I believe it might have started off. This might have been like that transition period where they converted it to
Okay.
license in the middle. But yeah, I know all the unboxings I've seen, it has all the logos and stuff.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
this is the first thing we've talked about tonight that did actually cause baby.
Wow.
Wow.
Forgot about that segment. Oh yeah, what is it? The Cos rides, or what are they called?
Yeah.
Bless you.
He's choking to death.
The jazzing license came in May 2021.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? Now all we need is Hot Toys to remake the figures, and
There you go.
Wasn't Mars Toys doing them?
Yeah, they did them twice.
Yeah.
yeah, but they're not as
pretty-
good.
Wasn't that Saturn toys? Yeah, same thing.
Right. Thank
I
you.
know.
Yeah, I
Uranus
think you're
toys.
right.
Jupiter
Nice.
toys.
Uranus toys. Let's see here. Blitzway put up a email. I believe this was an email updating on their Time Machine Part 2. So there were 5 things that were updated. The first one, the front LEDs, the 4 front LEDs now feature dual lighting modes. They have a 2 light mode or a full 4 light mode. The amber fog lights have been adjusted for an increased brightness, enhancing visibility and realism. The rear LED accuracy improvements, the behavior and layout of the brake lights, backup lights, and turn signals have been upgraded for improved film accuracy. The backup lights now turn off when the brakes are applied. The number of turn signal lights has been corrected, and the reverse lights now remain in an off state when not in use, which I think is pretty sweet. Let's play. Ba-ba-da-bum.
Marco.
Welcome, Marco. Rear vent angle and proportion. The angle and scale of the rear vents have been redesigned to align more closely with the original movie reference. The angle has been lowered and the vent proportions have been adjusted for better screen accuracy. The rear bumper logo finished. The rear, they call it Blitzway logo, but I believe they put out a second correction that corrected that to the DeLorean logo. Has been changed from a raised embossed design to a recessed and gray finish to reflect the on-screen appearance. The time circuit LED revision on digitalized number 9. The digitalized 9 on the time circuit LED display has been revised to its original format, and these enhancements reflect our commitment to delivering the most authentic and high quality collectible experience available. And yeah, I believe this was all from feedback from collectors, and then obviously things that they've realized after that. But yeah, but Sean says they're almost making this thing street legal. Yeah, that's a ton of stuff, and I mean, it's all objective things that you can say that, you know, they perhaps had incorrect or slightly incorrect that have been fixed. So I love it. I think at some point, you know, you have to just start moving forward with production, but I think they're early enough with the pre-order just being announced that, you know, there's still time for them to address a lot of these small issues, or even just like issues that could be fixed with adjustments to, you know, the circuitry inside the machine. So I like it. I like it a lot. And I think, Mike, you just ordered this, right?
I did, yeah. And I was going to say, if this thing hits with the expectations and everything that they're changing, I really think it's going to completely reset the 1.6 vehicle market, right? I mean, for the pricing and everything that they're going all out, the details that they're taking, the feedback that they're taking, almost to a Jazz Inc. kind of level, taking the feedback and stuff here. So I'm excited. I'm going to be honest. I hesitated pre-ordering it, just for all the reasons everybody else. But when I see stuff like this, I get more excited about it. Does anybody remember when this is supposed to release? Did they actually put a potential release date on this?
I think Q4 2025.
Oh shit! Okay.
Was
Wow.
it 2025?
Yeah, I don't think it's any way it'll
crazy.
make that, but I think that was their estimate.
Does that show how overpriced as well than how the other vehicles are? If we're getting even their own, because wasn't the Ghostbusters one like 12?
That one was
massive,
much.
though, bro.
That's
I don't
bigger,
think
the
though,
size.
Yeah, DeLorean is such a small car. I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people realize how small of a car it actually is.
That one's at least 8 inches
Yeah.
hard, so you got to just factor
Yeah,
those
one
in.
could be so lucky.
Yeah, I do wonder though on like if the pricing is like, is that something like is it just Hot Toys is again overcharging or something like sort of idea? But the Hot Toys tax maybe in general.
Yeah, also, I mean, not to give them any excuses, but because I guess if you're comparing DeLorean to DeLorean, maybe, but never mind. I was gonna make a point, but that doesn't make any sense. I was saying maybe the Batman license is more expensive, but then they also released a DeLorean, so I don't know.
Wild to see you argue with yourself right there.
I know. Well, I caught myself because that's what we should be doing. We should acknowledge when our takes are bad. That was gonna be a bad take. I don't know. I mean, I think like some of the things. Well, I think some of the things like LEDs aren't that expensive. That's not going to add a ton to the cost. I think a lot of the costs that I would imagine, not necessarily the material cost of diecast, but it is diecast in the past that has added a premium price point for these things. But yeah, it's not that much more expensive than the Hot Toys DeLorean, and they're going all fucking out with it. I don't know. It's a good point. Stumped.
It almost feels like less about the pricing of Hot Toys and more as far as what can be done for the price point, and more about the effort they put in, right? I mean, Hot Toys, listen, we all love Hot Toys, and it's not trying to knock Hot Toys, but they just kind of slap some stuff together and make it look like a DeLorean, and here you go, take it or leave it, because there's no other options right now. You see stuff like this from Blitzway, and not only are they doing some of the extra stuff, the diecast, the automation and stuff like that, but the attention to detail is my big thing, right? I mean, I can do without the blinking turn signals and the windows going up and down. I'm never going to touch that stuff, but it's the attention to details that really matter to me. So
you can tell this is a passion project too, right? Just for the amount of details they added.
Like it.
At first, they're improving it. Even the price point, they want it to be very, very successful, right? They could have put it out, at something that everyone was justifying much more expensive than what they put it out. So, that shows that they could have done that, but they want this to sell like crazy because they really love this project, and that's coming through. And hopefully, the final version will reflect all of this passion and effort.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's crazy to me that, there's, as far as we know, Marco, there's no plans for figures, right? This is just the time machine at this point.
Yeah, we haven't heard. Hopefully, though, right? If they're gonna do this much,
if they're going all this out, bro, yeah,
you'd imagine the figures would go
light up
crazy as
Nikes,
well.
bro, dude.
Bro, imagine
functioning laces, bro.
Hovering,
what would they
actual
board.
Hover. Well, the board is actually supposed to hover, right? Did we get confirmation on that?
I haven't seen that,
Oh,
but
wow,
yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
you're saying.
I think so. At least I haven't read the fine print, but I think the board is supposed to hover.
I want to say that's correct. I thought we mentioned that in the pre-order because we're all laughing at you.
And that's not a stretch for something that small. I mean,
no,
I see 3D print files all the time. There's magnets that are, big enough to handle something of that size. So that's not a stretch. So that's cool. I didn't realize it did that. But that's pretty awesome.
Let me look up the fine print, but I'm 90% sure.
Damn. Let's see here. Present toys. Monster Trainer. It's Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. As much as I want to like this figure, I feel like it has a fatal flaw in which it doesn't come with fucking Pikachu. And while I'm sure that you could just find any Pikachu figure, I don't believe the ones that would be in scale with this. Rather, let me rewind that. The ones that you would buy like at Walmart in the little figure packs are much too small to be the proper scale, I think. Maybe they're not, actually. Pikachu's only like a foot tall. At any rate, I feel like this should have come with Pikachu. I think probably it couldn't come with Pikachu, because then, like, Ash Ketchum obviously is licensed, but Pikachu's like fucking the holy grail of Nintendo Pocket Monsters license. Like, I think that's probably a step too far for them. But not coming with a Pikachu or any of the other Kanto starters is honestly fucking crazy work. And I feel like because of that, this figure is not going to do well.
I'll be fucking shocked if this actually makes it to production. Nintendo is such a litigious, like, they don't let anyone fuck around with their property, so I have zero faith this will actually make it. I feel like it could have come with some extra stuff, like some badges, more than one Pokeball. I mean, how many different Pokeballs are there? The Master Ball, the fucking...
Yeah, but in the anime, for the most part, they only use the red and white one.
I know, I'm just saying, like, throw some other accessories in there. The Pokédex is cool. I do like that.
It's not even fucking lit up, bro. Light that shit up.
Maybe it's like the original Nintendo. It's not backlit.
Ooh. They should have given you the small Pokeball too, because in the anime, it like, and
yeah,
it
like
shrinks.
gets bigger. Yeah, and he wears them on his belt, like a little belt accessory with the Pokeballs.
That'd be hard. That would actually be pretty dope.
Other than that, I mean,
which is a lot.
It's yeah, it is a lot. How much is this? Do we know yet?
It wasn't in the show sheet, so
okay.
No, I haven't seen it posted.
Depending on the price point, I do like this overall. It's going from 2D to 3D, so it's gonna look a little weird in the face, but like it's Ash, like it's clearly Ash. Although I also would have liked the ability
or
to
Melania
swap his hat backwards.
Oh yeah,
cool touch.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Pikachu would be about 2 inches and 1/6 go, which is pretty huge, honestly, if you think about it.
That's a big ass Pikachu.
I think the ones that come out of the little Walmart packs are about 1.25 inches, which again is quite large if you really think about it. I guess that's the only reason I could think of why they wouldn't include one, is because they know Nintendo will shut the shit down real quick.
Oh, I think they're going to.
But I feel like they're already going to do it because they've made the Pokeball on the fucking Pokédex.
Yeah.
And then they blacked out all the badges.
Dude, his hat? I mean, come on. That's Ash's hat, dude. Like, it's not like it's some different design they threw on there.
Yeah. I don't think so, Ermac. I go to Target a lot, and those Pikachus are like not that big.
This is brave.
Maybe.
So I don't get down with Pokemon at all. So this doesn't really mean anything to me here.
Digimon.
But I can appreciate what it is and the excitement that, you know, the Pokemon community would have for this. So I do hope it gets made. I also hear a lot of things that are missing, and that sounds more like opportunities for Zach's Wonderland / Mike's Adventure World. So
I'm not painting that yellow fucker.
Well, no, but somebody could just print
You
it
have a
yellow.
fancy print, yeah.
So
that would
I'm
be
hoping
good
it gets made, and if it
Adventure
does,
World.
look me up. What are the blacked out badges on the side? Like I said, I don't know anything
Nintendo
about
Mike's
this, so-
Wonderland is his Instagram.
Those are gym
Shut that
badges.
shit down. Yeah, so he gets, in theory, he's supposed to get one whenever he beats the gym leaders, but in actuality, he just like oh, I can't beat you, but I'm gonna help you because Team Rocket's trying to blow up the gym, and then they give him a badge. It's kind of really annoying for the first 2 seasons. That's how he gets all the badges. But yeah, essentially,
So-
you need 8 of them sequentially to then go to the next. It's like the Pokemon League, which is
Okay.
like the end.
So
of the
does he
season.
actually like wear them? Like, are they something that would go on his backpack or something?
He has
that,
like
or
a
is it just
wallet.
little accessory?
He has like a little. Here, let
Okay.
me show you. He's got like a little wallet that. Pokemon badges. Let's see.
Yeah, I saw those are blacked out, but
I
again,
guess
I
they'd be
have no
so
clue.
small in 6 scale that
Nah, they would.
I thought maybe
mean,
they
they
were
would be.
teasing Pokemons or something with those blacked out things. Because again, I don't know
So
what.
Ash keeps his on his like the inside of his jacket, but some characters keep them like in like a little wallet.
it's Gary.
Gary Oak.
So that'd be kind of sweet if they were like magnetic and you can like actually stick them on the inside of his coat or something.
That would be cool. That's fucking
Yeah.
present toys.
Hey,
Ain't gonna
hey,
do that
I-
shit.
Yeah,
didn't say
Hot
it
Toys
would
wouldn't even
happen.
do that shit, dude.
Mike's Adventure World would.
Yeah. Look me up. I got you.
There you go.
Oh.
And depending on the price, it might be worth grabbing. But I don't know. We'll see. The little mini Pokedex, for when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's pretty damn cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This did not cost baby, by the way.
I don't think so, but it's gonna be a Lego soon. Let's see, what else do we have here on your bumper? Let's play the button. Where's my button?
I'm on your bumper.
I didn't know
Fucking
Marco was hosting this segment.
what the fuck, bro?
Picture.
The Artisan curse, bro, strikes again. And I know it's too early, right? It just happened last week. People are already getting them with issues. But fuck, man. Hot Toys got to do something here, bro. They're sinking right now. Mandy Burton and Jay Jat both had issues. There was a few other issues, but these were the most well documented. And I don't have any confidence in this line. I have an Anakin on order for a fellow collector. I'm concerned. I have concerns. I just think that at some point, like, I feel like Hot Toys should make some sort of statement. I think we've already seen with the Joker, the replacement stock has already been exhausted. And really, for these figures where the hair is the big selling point, I feel like that's not really acceptable. And I'm curious what you guys think. If this is an overreaction, if this is, too soon to really make a call, but I feel like Hot Toys desperately needs to make some sort of announcement. At least even just to say, hey, this is on our radar. We're going to start producing sculpts for those that were affected. Something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of calm everybody down. But this is bad, bro. This is real bad.
Yeah. We started seeing things with the Joker. And it was kind of like, okay, well, it's like 1 or 2, and then 3 or 4. And I mean, I guess like even if you look at it with like a macro lens, it's probably, I don't know, let's just say a third of all figures released. Because most people aren't in groups or the internet or in the YouTube chat, right? So there's no real way to figure out how widespread an issue it is. The fact that there's no more replacement sculpts is kind of also hard to figure out because it's like, well, they only made X amount of these, right? Like 1,500 of them. So how many extra sculpts did they really have to, replace? But that being said, Anakin is too important of a character to get even that much wrong. I would also say the Joker is too. Those are 2 juggernaut characters to fuck up out of the gate. Especially with Anakin, where the whole selling point is the head sculpt. The base figure is exactly the fucking same as the original release. It's not even leather tabards. It's the same fucking shit you got before. The boots are exactly the same as before. The Dooku saber is still not a light up like it is in the original release. It's the same fucking figure, just with the updated sculpt of rooted hair, and they didn't get that right. I have no faith in ordering Artisans moving forward. If I had pre-orders, I would be worried. This is pretty bad. Again, Anakin is. You could just have Anakin to represent your Star Wars. You know what I mean? He's that like iconic and important. So for this to be not, a home run is very, very disappointing and disheartening.
Yeah, I think both of you guys are spot on in your takes there. I think it's definitely something to be of concern with. Dean, to your point, I do have 2 Artisans on pre-order, and I am very concerned. My finger is hovering over the cancel button as we speak. And to your point too, Anakin is absolutely too important for them to have missed, right? This is the one out of all of them that had the most hype. And at the same time, the Joker was their direct response to in-art and failed, right? So if you look at all the Artisans, these 2 were probably their most important. And while, yeah, we don't know what this looks like in the overall scale, to your point, the negative and the clickbait stuff's always going to get our attention. It's for probably 1 for every, 100 that are fine, who knows. But for what you're paying and for what they were putting out there in terms of their importance to this line, 1 is too many. I mean, it just is. I mean, shit happens. Yeah, you're going to have the occasional thing go wrong. But for Sideshow to have run out of replacements, and yeah, granted, those replacements were going to be limited too, it's clearly a big enough issue that they've run out. So it's not good enough, in my opinion. But I don't know what the issue is, right? 'Cause, I mean, these 2, we chalk it up to bad glue or whatever. The Jack Sparrow, no issues. Yeah, it had the bandana, so you probably take that one out of the equation, right? But no issues that we know of from the Imposter Joker. And even going back a little further, I don't think there was ever any issues with that Wonder Woman that was, pre-Artisan either. So what changed? Are they coming out of different factories? Is it a bad glue? Did they change their style, for the worse? I don't know. But I think, to Dean's point, if they want to salvage the Artisan line going forward, they need to come out and acknowledge that something went wrong and, make us feel like they're addressing the issue and not just putting out the same shit release after release. So, yeah, I guess all we could do is wait and see.
So I did a stream on Friday on my channel, and Bob Dylan mentioned that the Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman and Imposter Joker had a different artist or lead that was credited to those figures compared to these other ones, right? So, that's some new data that I had not heard before, or data, if you will. So it seems like there may have been a change somehow. What they're doing now is not what they were doing before, because as you mentioned, Mike, it doesn't seem like there were issues with those products. So maybe they try to find a cheaper and faster way to do it, and it's not working out so far. I'm not panicking just yet. I said the same thing with the Joker, because we've seen a fair amount of posts, but I've seen plenty of Jokers and Artisan Anakins that are fine as well. But time's really going to tell, right? So as the months go on with this Anakin, as hopefully they make it stateside here, when the batches start coming out through Sideshow, we're really going to see whether this is a problem or not. I think Dean kind of mentioned all the ways that this figure is still not even premium, though. So I think there's a lot of systemic issues with the Artisan line already. And then you just kind of layer on that perception is reality, that people are, already maybe not super happy with the price and, the value that they're getting. And then they're starting to see these issues pop up, and it's just not an ideal line launch at this point. And I'm just hoping for them that they get their stuff together. But I would say the good thing about Hot Toys is they've got so much experience as a company that I'm just really confident that they're going to make a course correction. But it's a pretty poor look right now for them. So hoping that, for the next batches of Anakins, we have very few cases of this hair, coming undone, right? Because it seems like the glue is kind of that common denominator that is lifting off of the scalp, and hopefully that issue is corrected. But yeah, something that I'm watching, not panicking about just yet, but definitely not a great look for Hot Toys.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few people say exactly what Mike said, was hovering over the cancel button, basically, like, or I won't, or what they say in this post, I do not think I'll buy an Artisan figure again. And I think a lot of people are thinking that same way when it comes to just, even if it's a small percentage, they don't want to be in that percentage of, hey, here's $40. Don't get me wrong, it's possible that the percentages are higher, and but I think there will be people who will hesitate now because of this. There's two figures now that we kind of have examples, and if what Marco said when it comes to the lead maybe being different and something was changed in regards to the production because of that, or something, but yeah, definitely not a good look, like you said. So I really wanted this. This one was one of the earliest ones that they put up, and I really wanted this one, and the only one that I actually ended up getting or going after was the Spider-Man, and I got it, but it's short hair, so I'm not sure if that's going to be worse or better, or Mike and I were discussing that as well, so I don't know. I'm holding on to that one right now, but I also don't want to cancel for. I'd rather wait if it's delayed than just get the free NRD back if I do cancel it. But so I'm holding out.
We're in such a tough spot, right, Badfish, where it's like the moment you cancel, someone's ready to take your place because they're limited, right? Or if you hesitate on a pre-order, there's plenty of people that are willing to jump in. So it's like Hot Toys is kind of, although their reputation maybe is not trending in the way that they'd like, there's still a demand for this type of figure, and it's still selling out. So they're kind of winning regardless. And that's kind of a tough situation for a collector, because we can't really sit back and wait for the data. It's either you want it now and you roll the dice, or you miss out.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the next release or something, right? So
yeah, this has me worried about my pre-order. I have one, the Harley Quinn. I'm not necessarily going to cancel it, but it does have me second guessing for any future Artisans. And I feel like Hot Toys has to figure it out, because they're not in the position to just abandon the line, because now they have so many figures out for pre-order that's like they have to lock in and figure it out. And yeah, I mean, I like you guys said, I don't understand why it's happening with this figure and the Joker, but so far we haven't heard any problems from the Jack Sparrow, or even the Wonder Woman, or even the Imposter Joker. We haven't heard any of problems from that figure, so I just don't understand what. Maybe I'm thinking the fact that it's happening to the Anakin and the Heath Ledger, the two biggest Artisans that they've released like so far, it might be a rogue employee or something,
wow. An in-art employee fucking snuck in or
I
something.
know.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. I've heard worse things, and I've seen worse things.
Right? They say like they all use like the same factories and stuff, right? You know,
that's the reason why I bring it up, because I have heard of like them using like same factories and like stuff like that. So it's like, you never know. You can't just dismiss it. Like Dean said,
like the wing business is cutthroat, bro.
Hot Toys apologist at its finest, right here.
Friend said he caught a Buffalo Wild Wings employee
espionage
in the back.
Dude, the other day somebody
Who's paying you, Howard?
The other day somebody tried to use a Buffalo Wild Wings coupon at my work. I was like, bro, I'm about to fucking punch you.
Jesus. You know, just to
what's the difference? Sorry.
I work at
It's a completely different company.
Wait, there's
like
two
going to
different
Burger
places?
King It's like going. It's like trying to use a Burger King coupon at McDonald's.
Some places do that. They take competitor coupons.
One's a chicken wing, one's a buffalo wing.
Not in God's country.
Wow.
Well,
I just wanted to say,
sound like
just
freedom.
to piggyback off what Fern was saying on that. So before these artisans started dropping, remember the conversation was they were putting up all these artisan pre-orders. You know, how many are they going to get us on the hook for before they actually release one and we see what they are? And sure enough, all our fears seem to be coming true.
Yeah, hoodwinked.
We have been saying from the beginning, though, like, oh, these prototypes aren't looking good. And I know this is a different issue than that, but we've kind of been on their bumper for a minute here.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Also, I'm going to take this from Fern, just throw out a wild like theory and then be like, you can't just dismiss it. That's a great strategy, Fern.
Yeah.
There you go. Quickly, Zach's Wonderland. If you need your blue Spider-Man foot decals, hit me up, Zach's.Wonderland. Or apparently randomly a bunch of people are hitting me up about the Green Goblin stands. If you like Goblin, I'm your man. Mike, what do you got for sale?
Yeah, so these little figure plaques seem to be picking up some steam here. So these were all
Goddamn,
specifically
6 Marvels?
requested by some customers. So yeah, these are heating up, and these are just, they came to me and said, hey, can you do this? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So these are all of customer requests. So if somebody wants something, they have an idea, please don't hesitate to reach out. If I can't do it, I'll happily tell you to get lost. But if we can, yeah, we'll give it a shot.
I'm going to start tagging Marvel and all these just to a little corporate espionage. Just kidding. Oh, man. How dare you? How dare you? Let's see. Right before tariffs, just a quick mention, but Interbase got some weird stuff going on. Earlier this month, a lot of people had their Michael Jordan I'm Back number 45 figures canceled because, and I quote, they have discontinued production of this item. No additional information was provided to us by the manufacturer as to why this occurred. And that on its own, while slightly concerning, isn't necessarily a huge deal. Their Interbay USA website is down, and all of their figures that are on pre-order are 60 to 30% off on Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I just thought, Marco and I thought it might be good to just kind of put out the little smoke signal that there's some stuff going on. Now, I did pre-order Giannis Antetokounmpo at 115.
Had to do it, bro.
Had to do it, bro.
Wow.
Had to fucking do
they
it.
They did 1/9. Weird. Okay.
Yeah, they do 1/9 as well. But
I didn't realize that.
Was Sean the one that got all 6 Marvel signs? He said, "That's right, Zach. 6 Marvel."
I cannot disclose customer information.
Mike is the most humble guy ever. I see orders flying out the door, and I'm like, "Damn, dude, business is booming." He's like, "Nah, it's pretty slow." I'm like, "God damn, bro, we have different definitions."
He's saying that so you don't sabotage him.
Saboteur.
No, not to get sidetracked, but so over the weekend, I was printing out like all my invoices versus expenses and stuff, just out of curiosity. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not as good as you think.
Oh, wow, we're running right at the red line.
We need to start charging some tariffs on these prints.
Yeah, I'm clearly not charging enough for these products, so watch out. Tariffs are going to hit hard.
Well, it's cool. You could just go back and ask for more money. I heard that's what some companies are doing.
I may
great
do that,
segue,
Marco.
Now, the White House, this is from Wall Street Bets, but I believe this graphic was also from the whitehouse.gov.
The president held it up. So,
Trump was holding it.
Yeah, that's
well, he finally put down that Gulf of America fucking poster and put this shit up. But we are in tariff times, as I call it. They released a lot of different tariffs for a lot of different countries, and I don't really want to read specific tariffs. I do have a better graphic here. In response to some of the tariffs charged to China, now this quote I've seen on groups, and I've also seen from AOL and Fox News article. I have not been able to find the government website this is from. It might be a Chinese government website. But in response to the United States tariffs that we implemented, China is now charging tariffs where postal shipments from China and Hong Kong will receive a 30% duty or $25 per item, whichever is greater, starting in May. That rate, will increase to $50 per item after June 1st. I don't know if the 30% will increase, but I've seen this quote flying around, so take that with a grain of salt. Donald Trump responded today, or was this yesterday? Today. That Trump is then responding by increasing the tariff on China to 104% effective midnight. And this is essentially his promise that any country that adds a retaliatory tariff will then be re-tariffed. And I want to be very clear that this is a very fluid situation. It seems like these things can change in a matter of hours or days. And a lot of the information that we're talking about this week will probably be out of date even as soon as when the show is over. So just to be clear that when we're recording it, this is what the information that we have. There is some discussion that perhaps ChatGPT helped come up with the number for these tariffs. And James Suro, I'm not even going to attempt to read that last name, but he said that they weren't actually calculating tariff rates and non-tariff barriers as I said they did. Instead, for every country, they just took our trade deficit with that country and divided it by that country's exports to us. So we have a 17.9 billion trade deficit with Indonesia. It exports to us are 28 billion. 17.9 divided by 28 is 64%, which Trump claims is the tariff rate Indonesia charges us. And so this is kind of where I want to focus here. These are as of April 3rd, which again, this is a very fluid thing that's happening. I don't know what the correct Zach is for, but I love it. Now, Brazil has iron studios, and those tariffs are questionable. Japan, I'm just going to read the ones that I'm familiar with. Bandai, Good Smile Company, Kotobukiya, Medicom, Prime One, Takara Tomy, Tamashi Nations, 24% tariffs. South Korea, Blitzway, and J&D, 25% tariffs. We do have a video from J&D, which I haven't watched yet. Hong Kong, 34%, which, again, this was April 3rd. This may be as high as 104%. Interbay, Hot Toys, Star Ace, Storm Collectibles, 3830. Canada is Pure Arts. China, Damn Toys, Exo6, Haya Toys, InArt, Infinity Studio, Joy Toy, Mars Toys, Fison, Present Toys, Queen Studio, Soso Toys, Toys Era, VTS Toys. And again, that number could be higher. USA, these companies are headquartered in USA, though their production is in China, so these will be 34 to 104% tariffed. Hasbro, Mattel, McFarlane Toys, Mezco, Mondo, NECA, Pure Arts, Sideshow, and Super 7, and Taiwan at 32% with Asmus Toys. Now, again, to be clear, it doesn't matter where the company is headquartered. It seems it matters where the items are produced and exported out of. Modu Space, which are made in Singapore and originate from Singapore, have said that there will be no additional taxes charged to our customers in the United States. Modu Space will be absorbing the tariffs. Same goes for the Canadian customers as well. That's from CEO Brian Wong. Sideshow on r/Hot Toys has said that they wanted to address the concerns regarding tariffs. They're doing what they can to minimize the impact of the evolving economic landscape. But of course, should there be any news or updates on the situation, we will announce it in our emails and newsletters as needed. There was a $5 increase for many figures on sideshow.com, which this would be, I believe, the second one in about a calendar year that this has happened for figures. Jazz Inc. Dioramas says that we are planning to make and ship all U.S. orders from the Netherlands starting May 2nd. The declared value is always below the de minimis rule of $800, which still applies for goods from the EU, so you should not have to pay any tariffs based on the current rules and regulations. He says that so far no customer has reported paying tariffs, though the first tariffs have been imposed in early February. They will stay on top of all changes and new rules as they are announced to ensure the lowest possible impact for U.S. customers. It will delay the moment of shipping by about a month, but if you want it faster, regardless, you can email them. Non-U.S. customers will not be affected in any way. Kit says, and I'll be honest, I don't quite understand his message. Maybe you guys can help me understand it. But he says, "Hello, Americans. Trust me, I understand what you feel. I feel the same way, and I really can't breathe. Do I have any plan now? No, I can't plan for uncertainty. I have zero idea what will happen in May. It is still variable, but I can tell you what's in my mind at this moment. I am ready for free service in upcoming 2 years, and I'm ready to take loss. If the situation is worse than my expectations, I hope you can understand when I ask for help. I just want to fulfill orders and survive. God bless you, and please God bless me as well. I am rude as hell, but I am not a murderer or a criminal. Please God bless we all." And so I don't. To be honest, I don't.
About that.
Guy's out of his mind. I love it.
What does he mean by
it
"I'm
says,
ready
"Hello?
for free service in upcoming
Hello,
2 years"?
American.
I think he's implying that he will absorb any of those tariff fees.
Oh, okay,
He's not going to
perfect.
pass it on.
I think, yeah, or free shipping.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I
still to keep the free shipping and no fees coming in to different countries.
For sure.
I'm not a murderer.
Underground Figures
It says murderers.
says that they're providing an important, I believe part of this is from Sideshow, if I'm not mistaken, and then the last part is from Underground Figures. Effective April 10th, we will need to implement an additional surcharge of 2% on all distributed products and 1.25% on all Sideshow manufactured products to offset the increased cost. The total surcharge will be 4% for distributed products and 2.5% for Sideshow manufactured products. This adjustments will apply to any product arriving in our U.S. warehouse after April 10th, 2025. We are also aware of the news of potential for tariffs to increase by an additional 34%, which would bring the total tariff to 54%, as there's no confirmation of the exact percentage. We will adjust accordingly upon receiving official communication. Underground Figures did say that they're increasing they split the cost of the price. The price increase will be 2% on all distributed products and 1.25% on all Sideshow manufactured products. Now, it's my understanding, Equan's in the chat, so maybe Equan can confirm this, but I believe I did message them and they did not answer my message on Instagram. But it's my understanding from Equan that the price increase will apply to previously pre-ordered figures that have yet to be delivered. Now, I really don't like that at all. I think every company that we've seen thus far has been willing to absorb those cost increases on previously ordered figures. And when I looked into Underground Figures terms and conditions on their website, nothing was mentioned that prices were subject to change. And initially, when we had read a few weeks ago from Underground Figures, I think my feelings have evolved a bit from being okay with 1% to 2% increase to now that it's, I guess, becoming more real. I'm not quite sure how comfortable I feel about that because, you know, we talked about in the Patreon chat where when you say, oh, it's just $5 or it's just $10, I think it puts you in the mindset where you have to really think, when is it too much? When do you start to push back? Because on the flip side, you know, their cost of business is always changing, right? Even for just Zach's Wonderland or CW, right? Internet prices go up, property taxes go up. The cost for us to do what we do or to deliver the 3D printed products that we do changes all the time, right? And for pre-ordered stuff like this, I don't feel that we should be on the hook for the changing business costs, because I don't think if we messaged them and said, hey, I actually want to pay 2% less, I don't think that they would go for that. And so I don't think that it should be on us.
You would just message, can I have it?
Yeah, exactly. But
Please?
Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, for them to arbitrarily change the terms and conditions of our pre-order to, okay, well, actually we're going to ask for more money. It doesn't make sense to me, because again, I don't think they would accept us asking to pay less for the same figure. And I would say, obviously this is pretty rare, but I don't think if they were able to secure the figure for cheaper that they would pass those savings on to us. That's purely speculation, but I think in a situation like this, you know, they're not charging us what they're paying for the figure. There is a profit margin there that includes all their costs of business plus a profit for them. And I think what every other company is doing is eating that increase as a part of that profit for existing pre-orders, and then going forward looking to raise the cost for new pre-orders. I think that's the way to do it. That's what Sideshow's doing. But I think it's crazy to me now, having some time to reflect on it, to go back and say, without any pre terms and conditions, that all of a sudden these prices are now subject to change. I think that's crazy. I personally have known, I believe Equan said he canceled all his pre-orders when they were going to charge him a new price, which I would encourage most people to do, because again, I don't think that you should have to pay for a changing price landscape if you've locked in a pre-order. And I think that's the point of locking in a pre-order, right? You're paying a deposit with a lot of retailers, and I understand that for them to get the figure has gone up, but if you're saying, well, it's only $5, I think that works the other way, both ways, right? It's only $5 for the retailer, or it's only $5 for the customer. But I don't think that it really, to me, it makes sense to, without any sort of pre-information on this. I read their full terms and conditions and screenshot them when these emails first started going out, and there was nothing about estimates and subject to change. And I think that's smart, the Sideshow, when they do their pre-orders, that the shipping is always estimated, because that does change. I think, Mike, we talked about it recently, but shipping went up 4 or 5 times last year in the last quarter, almost, it seemed like, maybe the last 6 months. But I think it's important that as consumers, we push back on those companies that are trying to charge us these fees, because I think that is the cost of doing business for a product that is pre-ordered and then not out for a full year. During that full year, anything can happen. And I think if we're going to constantly go back and forth about price increases, I think it's not fair to us to have to pay that. Probably a very entitled opinion. I realize that, but I just think that to me doesn't seem fair for the consumer. This was a really interesting one from Everything Dinosaur. It's like they sell obviously dinosaur figures. But they basically said that they are suspending all sales into the United States from starting 9 a.m. Tuesday, 18th of April, because it's really not worth it for them to charge people an extra $25 per item, up to $50 per item for the goods that they sell. And it's just not worth the hassle. So until this changes, this company just flat out said, we're not going to ship to the United States. Comic
Can I
Concept,
comment on the last two really quick? I know we're gonna everyone's gonna have a turn, but
sure.
I was just earlier today was listening to a Bloomberg podcast. It's called Odd Lots, I believe. They had a CEO from like a logistics company, and he was saying because of the way that these tariffs are being calculated upon ships leaving, like the date that they left the port instead of when they arrive. He said 28% of the customers they talk to are delaying shipments. So kind of like waiting to see how this all
if it
pans
changes.
out,
I see.
to see if it changes. So like 28% is like a pretty drastic amount. So I thought that was pretty interesting data. And then he framed it just in terms of the underground. He framed it in terms of like, if companies are going to pass this along to consumers, he's like, they either have two options. They hurt their reputation, or sometimes they go under. And he's like, they don't want to hurt their reputation, but sometimes they will have no choice but to do that in order to not go under. Interesting way to look at it. Obviously, we don't know their margins, but I thought that was an interesting way to frame it.
For sure. And to be clear, go ahead, Mike.
I was just say real quick to this, because I'll forget about it. But I think the craziest thing in this statement from Underground Figures is the fact that they actually put a number on there, right? Because, as we've been talking in the chats, I mean, this stuff is changing, not even just daily, right? It almost seems like hourly. So for them to like commit to an amount now, when this, because if I remember correctly, this came out a few days ago, right? And now the tariffs have escalated even more so then. So it's almost like they got to be thinking, oh shit, we should have put more if we were going to do it, right? It seems crazy that they would commit to a percentage now when this is so fluid, hour to hour almost. That seems like a big mistake to me.
Definitely miscalculation, but also like to play devil's advocate, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because either
100%.
you're like silent and people are asking you all these questions, or you try to get ahead of it and then it's evolving too quick. So it's got to be really tough to be a business owner right now, or a collector. We're both kind of
100%, right? I mean, these companies could all say, we're not going to up anything, keep it all the same, and then ship it and leave it at the ports for you to pay the tariff, right? And say, hey, that was your government that fucked it up. You figure it out, right? So, I mean, there's definitely worse ways to handle this. I'm sure they're kicking themselves for putting a number in here already, not knowing what this is actually going to look like when they start shipping things.
No doubt.
Here's let me show this portion of an email. This is from one of our collectors. They asked if they were able to guarantee the price that they ordered it at. This is from Underground Figures. Just as all orders we've placed with Sideshow, we have many orders on the books with Sideshow that date back to 22/23 that will increase in price because of the tariffs. If we don't adjust our price, it will cost us thousands. And there are obviously a number of figures there. But again, I think that's the cost of doing business. I think, if you lock in a price, I really strongly wouldn't feel comfortable paying anymore. And I understand
that last one.
That's from Underground Figures.
Oh, as well, the margins with the thousands loss. Okay.
Yeah. And I get it's a lot of money, but, when other companies and other retailers are absorbing that cost, I think you're the odd man out if you're trying to pass it on to the collector. And obviously, like you said, Marco, it's so fluid that, a day, and like Mike said, a day, a week, a month, like it's all going to be, totally different.
An hour.
Comic Concept says, as we are currently absorbing most of the costs, there may come a time where we will need to pass on a small percentage to our customers, who will keep everyone updated as the situation progresses. This is a new challenge not only for us, but the industry as a whole. And while we have been absorbing these costs thus far, the recent tariff announcements have prompted us to engage in discussions with our partners and manufacturers to find a viable solution, which I do think is a good tempered message to send. That's from Josh at Comic Concepts. I think, Marco, there was a retailer that you talked to that said that at least for previously pre-ordered items where you've put a deposit, you've locked it in, that those are those prices are set, at least as of now.
I did see some communication from that retailer, though, that left it a little bit more open-ended than that more definitive. So maybe
gotcha.
that 104% is probably
might have changed things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? At 20%, maybe okay, they can eat it. At 104, or fuck, when he wakes up tomorrow, 150.
Well, didn't China
at
just
some
raise
point,
theirs to 107? So now he's gonna probably
Something
raise
like
it back.
that,
It's
yeah.
like
Christ.
the Price is Right. They're just gonna go. 108.
And I do feel like if
Too
a
fucking
consumer,
lunatics.
just to add on to my opinion on this, but if a consumer does want to cancel because of these tariffs, I don't think it's appropriate to keep in an RD either. If that price increase has become unsustainable,
That feels
for
like a
both
fair
parties.
compromise, right, Zach?
Yeah,
Like,
for
okay,
sure.
Give me my
Yeah.
NRD
Yeah.
back. You get to price it at whatever you want now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Am I crazy though for saying that? I feel like if I'm locked into a pre-order, I shouldn't have to pay, a crazy price. Especially with retailers like Sideshow, where you're paying in some cases a monthly, per month charge to keep that item in good standing. To me, it's crazy to say, oh well, because of this shit that's happening, we're now going to charge you
Jeez, what's gonna
X
happen
dollars
with
more.
I think
frickin'
that's the contract we
HasLabs?
entered into, right? Oh, go ahead.
Right.
Ben.
It seems like it, yeah.
It's
Now, to be
such
clear,
a-
I haven't looked at the full Sideshow terms and conditions. But I know in particular for Underground Figures, that was not on their terms and conditions as of when we grabbed the screens from
And
that
I
when we
don't
messaged
even-
them.
I don't even necessarily mean like legal contract. I more mean like social contract. Like, hey, we
Yeah,
come to this
100%.
agreement. So, what were you saying, Badfish, about HasLab?
Just I wonder if this is gonna be like when HasLabs come in that were ordered like a year and a half ago. Obviously you've already got your money, but are you just gonna then get slapped with a freaking 30% tab on top of it? You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
the cantina or whatever you have on order.
Yeah. These numbers to me, they
so-
almost feel like I'm sure that Mike, you have experienced this with your kid, or all of us have probably experienced this with our parents, but like you're grounded for a week and it's like, well, how about a month, or how about a year? How about 10 years? Like the numbers just seem like so crazy that, like Badfish is saying, like now we're up to like 107%, 150%. It's like, why not 200%? Like why not
even
500%?
targeted,
Like,
which is
it's just like, these numbers seem so arbitrary that it's just like, who's really winning here? Like, I feel like we're all just losing, and this is just like a silly game at this point. Which
Yeah,
it
so
isn't, but it just feels like you could just throw out any number, and, 1 billion% tariffs. Like,
So two comments. on this. So, when it comes to upping the prices, if somebody ups, if I pre-order from, let's say, Sideshow today, and my sales tax is 7%, if that sales tax goes up in the next 2 years, do I have to pay that difference when it comes time to actually ship the item? Same way like Sideshow estimates shipping, right? Because they don't know what shipping prices are going to be in 2 years. So with a tariff being essentially a tax, can they frame it in so much as, hey, we're not charging you, more for the item, but you are taxed now. And obviously it's different, when it's coming from overseas, what we pay or don't pay for taxes is sometimes built in, and who knows, right? But when you're talking Sideshow, for example, right, there's a sales tax that's listed in there that if I pay for it today, if that sales tax gets increased between today and 18 months from now, am I locked in on what that sales tax is today, or are they allowed, and would they, and have they come after that additional cost? Does anybody know how that works?
So I think with oh, go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, as a Canadian, from my side of experience, everything I pre-order is like, until it crosses the border, that's when the quote-unquote tariff hits, right? Like, I'm used to paying an extra tax. Anything over $100 that comes in here, just like they said with their thing, anything over 100 would be charged to 30%. Here, there's no automatic fee for everything coming in, but anything over a certain value, depending on the category it's in, if it crosses the border, you're paying a fee to get it over. So I would think I've locked in the price, but if, say, they change the rates between when I ordered that hot toy and whatnot, it's when it crosses the border, right? So if I ordered it 2 years ago, because it takes them 2 years to release one, it could change in that time. So I would think it's the same idea. Once it crosses your border, that's when they're going to charge it. But
so, sorry, I know you want to step in just briefly. In America, like when we order on Sideshow, all that taxes are estimated until the final payment. So
that's what I thought.
I don't know if that also includes what would be
fair,
like the tariff on that would be estimated as well. But yeah, it's the final payment is when you charge shipping, tax, and then your final installment.
Okay, yeah, we just have the shipping, and sometimes I've had shipping calculated when I order a pre-order, like for some, I think they've changed that, but that was, I want to say back in the day, I was pre-ordering and it had estimated shipping ones, because it would lock. I remember comparing my old shipping rates to the new orders I was making, thinking, whoa, I locked this one in a year ago and it was only $25. Now it's $30 or whatever, right? Because I could compare. I remember comparing new and old shipping rates for new pre-orders that I had that weren't even out yet. So
I did stop listening after, as a Canadian, I got nothing else
you hate
after
to
that.
see it.
Yeah.
Is this a video worth watching, Marco? You sent it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I thought it was Danny Lee, though, so that was the reason I sent it.
I did watch it, and I actually think it's really interesting because the highlight here is they are lowering their prices to counter the tariffs. Yeah.
Okay. JD News episode 31.
Strategy.
This is kind of a
I really wish we had that clip. It's a bold move, Cotton.
last minute urgent JD News today that we wanted to get out to you as quickly as possible. As many of you are aware, last week the United States announced a new reciprocal tariff policy. The products imported from China into the US, an additional tariff of 34% was imposed. Unlike many other companies, as a Korean company shipping from Korea, we face a slightly lower burden of 25%. However, given that our products are high-end, we understand that this still raises significant concerns, especially for J&D collectors in the US. As you well know, despite the rising costs of goods in recent times, we've strived to maintain the price level at around the same level since the founding of the company. Even though our products are higher end, we work really hard to prevent further price increases. But the issue stems entirely from a US tax policy beyond our control. However, it increases the price burden on American consumers, which ultimately adds pressure on those who love and purchase our products. Because of this, we've decided to take a more proactive approach. First, we'll have some price reduction. As long as the newly revised U.S. reciprocal tariff policy remains in effect, we decided to partially reduce the prices of our newly released products moving forward. Though we're not a large-scale company, nor one with abundant investments, as many of you know, we've always considered ourselves one with our collectors. We hope to support you even if it means tightening our belts further. This will take effect starting with our next product, Stellar Blade. Originally reflecting previous price levels, the single version was set at $23.99, but we decided to reduce it by $200, bringing it down to $21.99. Likewise, the dual version was initially priced at $38.99, but now we plan to release it at $35.99, a discount of around 7.7%. As a side note, starting this time, our dual versions will feature each statue with its own base, evolving into a concept that makes the single versions even more appealing. Additionally, all dual versions will include meaningful extra parts exclusive
That pretty
to the
much
dual
sums it up, Zach.
versions.
God damn it, Mike.
Second-
You made me watch a damn statue commercial.
That's why I cut you off.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. I was like, where's this man going? The one thing that I think is interesting of all of this, I'm not quite sure how this works. I'll be honest, I did not get a chance to reach out to Yost, but I probably will send him a message. They're saying that their declared value is below the de minimis rule of $800. The only time I've ever dealt with declared value, I was told, which again doesn't make it true, but that if you declare, let's say I'm shipping a $1,000 statue to Badfish, if I declare it's $10, then I would not be able to insure it for the full $1,000. I don't know if that's true.
That's
but
absolutely true.
Okay, that's what I thought. To be clear, that's what I thought. So I don't know if that means that they're going to pay out of pocket for any shipping damages to any of their products. If that is true, I don't know. It's also coming from the Netherlands, so I'm not sure how it works if they're shipping from the Netherlands. So that's how it is in the United States. That's what Mike's familiar with. That's what I'm familiar with. I don't know how it works coming from that direction or with the shipping providers that they use. So I could be totally talking out of my ass there, but for USPS and UPS in America shipping anywhere, if you're declaring a value, that's the maximum that you can put for insurance value as well. This is also interesting that you could run afoul of customs, and you have to imagine if all of a sudden customs starts getting all these packages worth less than $800, that I don't know, do they open them up and start investigating? It's kind of tough. It's kind of a tough situation.
No, sorry, Zach. I know that Yost posted this again, I think maybe a day or two ago, and I saw something that said supposedly that $800 limit was going away. Now, he also tried to do that when the first tariffs went through, and that's when all the packages stopped because they didn't know how to process that much stuff. So they initiated that $800 limit. But I did see that supposedly that $800 rule is going away. Now, I don't know if that was for somebody specific, and maybe US being part of the EU, it's still in place. But I did see somewhere a comment that at 800 was going away. So I'm not sure, and that's kind of what we talked about at the beginning, right? This shit's so fluid that these posts from 24 hours ago may not be valid anymore.
Can I get a drum roll, please? Drum roll, please, Dean. Anybody?
Can you hear that? I'm doing it. There it is.
That was weak. Dark Side Anakin. Mike with the pick. Mike with the pick. 5 points goes to Mike.
I don't even have my shit in hand. They're already announcing this. Is Mando all over
the classic Hot Toys. Oh man, I just deleted something that I wasn't. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
I just deleted my banner. What the fuck? Is there an undo button? All right, we need someone to go and tell me how many points everyone had. God damn it! Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm gonna have to use an old banner.
No, it's back. It's back.
No, that wasn't us.
No, that's the old one. Everyone's starting back at 0 points.
Yeah,
Mike starts out at 5.
It.
I had at least 80.
No, I was winning.
No, you're winning now. You got 5 points. Hang on, we're gonna have to stop the whole show.
I don't even know if I want this anymore.
This is after what we talked about earlier. This is like so deflated.
Yeah, this is so bad to announce this now.
This is the worst timing possible for them.
I think someone tell me who was winning in the old points. I'll think of a prize.
I think Dean was winning.
Okay, I'll think of a prize. So Dean, Marco, Ben, Eddie, Badfish, Mike. I gotta put Fern in there.
A dark side Anakin.
Zip it. We're doing the points first, all right?
Bro, I'd rather talk tariffs than fucking dark side Anakin at this point. Like,
so this was that
I did
fifth.
have one,
Remember in the
thing to
opening
spin
of the
off
show? Yeah, I said
okay.
that this was that fifth exclusive. Sorry, what do you want to spin off of this? Where are we going to this?
so
I have
this is
something to
actually
spin
gonna
off
be
the
out.
tariffs after.
Well, do it now because we're not gonna go back to tariffs. I think.
I was gonna say, how does it change your collecting? Is what I was gonna say.
Okay,
Is
let's
it
circle back to
changing?
that. Let's
That's
circle
what I'm
back because
saying.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
The only tariff I'm worried about is if my dick will tear off if I keep jorking.
Oh my god!
Wow.
If
would
it
not be
hasn't yet,
jorking.
Dean, I think you're safe.
Then I'm good.
What's that wrestler's
I
name
think-
again?
Wrestler?
The chick. You're gonna tear it off
Trump
for
the
her.
Terror, Jesus.
I love Tesla. I love.
Oops.
Um,
There we go.
yeah, I don't know. I think I have thoughts, but
On
I
Anakin?
don't-
Wait, his saber wasn't even fucking red. What the fuck is this?
Oh,
They got to do
man.
something to differentiate it beyond the eyes. Give him a new base.
It looks like the skin's
red saber.
paler.
This is fucking awful. His saber wasn't even fucking red.
Does it actually
This is
look paler, though?
non-canonical.
I think so.
That's pretty dope.
I would say I
that a
like
lot,
I
actually.
like that.
Why is the saber red? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
And this figure's coming out like almost immediately.
See, this is the exclusive. It's the box sleeve.
Oh, so it's gonna get.
So this is a
release
regular
and then-
version, and
It's
then
still
the
exclusive
celebration.
though, which means
What
it's
the
probably
fuck is
limited.
this?
1,000 units
Yeah, however many. Units.
Were you reading that? Sorry, I didn't see that.
at the bottom of the description. So scroll all
Oh,
the
is
way
it?
to the bottom.
Is it here?
It says this
Oh, here
artist.
we go.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1,500
yeah,
units in
with the
Japan for
sleeve.
the celebration, and then 1,000.
Wow.
Damn, that sucks, dude. That's
This one's gonna be
fucked.
impossible to get. This is gonna
That's
be wild.
crazy, bro. That's why is the lightsaber red? I can't get over this. Like, that don't make no fucking sense, bro.
Well, the base doesn't make any fucking sense either. So
I mean,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
could have made the.
whoa! Is that some glue?
this motherfucker.
Went down.
Fucking guy.
Can you imagine if there's glue on the
That
prototype?
would be fucking incredible. They're not Hasbro.
Damn,
though.
that's dirty work by Hot Toys, though. That's devious. Also, those motherfuckers that were making the Sith eyes last week, they gotta be pissed. Not even
if they are-
genuine fucking
No, because
leather, bro.
there's not going to be enough to fill the market. Those Sith eyes.
No, I was
fine.
just messing around.
This
What
I
is-
was joshing.
What if
so disappointing.
the light side version has, a lot of issues? Just speculating here. And then this one comes out fine. It's like they rushed out that one to then announce this one.
I was
They didn't
thinking the
even rush it
same
out.
thing,
How fucked up
Marco.
with that?
I
that
was
fucking
thinking
figure
the
was
same
late
thing.
as hell.
That's true. It also took
Maybe
forever.
maybe they delayed it because they were making this one for celebration. They were spending all their time. Yeah, but if they're gonna have 1,000 of these at celebration, I don't think they're gonna have any different issues than the ones that they just are releasing now. They're gonna be made at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Likely, yeah.
I would think so too.
I have such.
I
little
don't think
faith
this looks
so
that
far.
pale.
No, not in that picture. I would agree. Some of
I
the
have
ones from
such
sculpt just
further
little
in looked better.
faith in the Artisan line as of right now to even want to try and pick this up. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, it's hard to inspire confidence.
I would also say that this sculpt looks more like the prototype sculpt,
Yeah, it does.
right? Than the
Yeah, but we know what the final sculpt is gonna look like. You know what I mean? So it's like,
because it's kind
what's
of got
the
the
point?
more gap in the lips too.
oh, he does got a look. He's like smiling in this picture. It's creepy, bro.
Well,
Let's go back to tariffs. How does this change your collecting? I bought a lot of shit on AliExpress and DHgate this morning. Tell you that much, America. Trying to get my shit in before that May 2nd. Realistically, though, if this shit goes up 104%, I'm out. Bro. I'm buying used figures.
yeah, I mean,
that
I've said this for a long time. I think people just need to be okay not not getting stuff.
Yeah.
I've been priced out of figure arts for the longest time.
Bro, fucking figure arts, bro.
I only buy maybe 2 Hot Toys a year over the past like 3 years. So it's not like I'm spending a ton of money on Hot Toys anyway. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of lines that, I mean, Marvel Legends alone, fucking $37 for a Spider-Man. Like,
I think that's a tariff thing though,
maximum.
because it was $5 cheaper on Pulse. But yes, that is bullshit. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I think on BBTS he was 35. Entertainment Earth he was 37.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, why? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I think if people stop spending this money because they know you're going to, it's like the shit with the Nintendo Wii, right? It's like, oh, they'll fucking buy it. They'll fucking pay pigs. They'll pay whatever we ask for it because they want it. And I think people need to start voting with their wallet. I mean, we just saw J&D say, you know what, we're going to charge less.
Which is crazy.
Why have you not been charging less this whole time?
Well,
because they don't have to, is the point. And now that their back's up against the wall, it's like, well, we don't have to fucking jerk them so hard. We'll fucking cut them.
RIP to those people saying that J&D, we're not their market. Well, clearly we're, a good part of their market, whether they're licensed for here or not, to direct this to us specifically.
I think that's okay. So in terms of the tariffs, the United States has been getting dicked around for a long time. We pay much higher tariffs than we employ. And now that the United States is like, hey guys, we kind of just want some fucking help here. Our fucking sorry, what's the word? Our national debt, our taxpayers barely pay the fucking interest on our national debt the past year. So it's like something's got to give. Like, can the world fucking help us out here, please? Reciprocal tariffs. We charge you what you charge us. And what did the rest of the world say? Fuck y'all. And now they're fucking charging 105% tariffs. It's like, all right, well, we'll charge you 150. We're buying everything. Can you survive us not buying shit? I don't think so. Something's got to give. There's already a lot of countries fucking sending people over here to fucking negotiate. Please,
China
for the love
can
of
survive
God.
it. I'll tell you that much. They've got their own people buying other shit. They've said, and they have
a lot of shit's made in China, bro. It's gonna be the $2.50 store at this rate.
They've been making friends all over the world that buy their shit too. Is my point.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I
this
mean,
is the beginning of the Phantom Menace. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
We should have paid attention.
I don't know if these companies are gonna have to fucking start making their shit over here,
which is gonna take years. You can't just flip a switch and
it's gonna
like,
cost the
is
shit.
it worth it if the situation's changing so quickly? It's tough to like.
Also,
even if you've made that decision today, it's like it's not going to happen for. I think Canon was saying it would take like 4 years to build that infrastructure to do that here, and then obviously you're paying much higher prices to buy American made labor and products.
I was reading a thing where it was Adidas. It cost Adidas $2 to make a shoe in.
Who the fuck threw that motherfucking busted ass goddamn Adidas?
That was good. That was fucking brilliant.
You were cooking, but I was like, I need to do this.
It cost them $2 to make a shoe and get it over here to sell for fucking $200.
$4 a pair.
They were saying if they made the shoe here, it would cost them $14. And still they could charge $200 fucking for the shoe. So the manufacturing really isn't the fucking problem. Like, these things don't cost that much money.
Maybe that product, but some other things I would say it's not necessarily true.
Yeah. So,
Because
You're right,
other
though, Dean. We're
industries
gonna
are going to
find
get
out.
paid more than sewing a shoe, right? If you have skilled labor building cars, those people get paid pretty well, right? So,
motherfucking
Well, we
Teslas
build
are
cars
made by
in America.
robots.
well, yes and no.
Well, there are cars made in the United States. There's a huge Toyota factory in San Antonio. I don't know if they're more or less expensive. I'll be honest, like I don't know. I haven't fucking bought a Toyota, but I mean it can happen, right? It's not an impossible task, but that factory took years to make and to staff and to
Yeah,
get
and
things
that's
up
just an
running.
assembly plant, dude. All the parts are still coming from out of the country.
You might be correct by that, yeah.
And
it's
I
even
think
more
it's
complex,
also-
like for some of this stuff, because like let's say you buy a camera, right? But it's like you might have parts from one country, this from another country, this assembled here. It's like all these. It's just so convoluted. It's not really like if it's coming from China, every single part is originating in China, and I don't know how that plays into effect either. I'll be honest, I don't really know how all that works out, or if it's just at the final shipment point that those tariffs get charged. But
I think it's margins too, right?
Yeah.
It's what the margins the companies are willing to.
No butter.
I can tell you, my uncle works for GM, and he's a project manager. I can't remember which model. And his wife also works for GM, also a project manager on another model. And he did tell me, I was with him over the weekend. He said that they are already in conversations with suppliers outside of the country for parts that are looking to renegotiate the price because of the tariff. So it's already happening. Like I said, it can be assembled here, right? We can all say we buy Ford or Chevy and it's American made and all that, but the parts, I won't say all of them, but a good portion of them are not made here, and that's where the effect is going to be. So you can open
I guess
plants
just
and assemble, that's great, but unless you're going to also then open all the plants to make all the parts, it's just not realistic.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, right? There's just too much uncertainty right now to know how this is all going to shake out. But we've always said, like, once that price goes up, it's not coming back down, right? And so, all the noise, $5 sideshow here, 2% here, maybe it's a temporary increase and then the tariffs get taken away because there's a deal struck, but it's trending in the wrong direction. And then once these things become a new normal, we're not seeing those old prices again. So I think that's just kind of the crummy part on top of all the other uncertainty of, your retirement portfolio and, costs of everyday goods going up. When it comes to collecting, it's like the hobby's already expensive.
Bro, people getting
whether it's,
bamboozled, bro.
oh gosh, man, it's going to be tough, right?
My
Like,
grandmother got taken crazy work, bro.
And these things are like, they always fluctuate, right? So at the end of the day, it's probably going to even out, even if things are looking pretty dire right now. But it's just like when it comes to 1-6 figures and other collectibles, we're probably not going to see the same prices we're seeing today, which are already very high, right? These luxury goods are already very expensive. So at a certain point, you see people saying, okay, I'm done with the hobby. Whether that's true or not, it has a lot of us reevaluating how we collect and like what's going to be important moving forward. So I definitely am very anxious, but trying to take a deep breath, see how it all shakes out, but knowing that our collecting strategy will have to change.
Yeah. I only
I
ordered,
would I would almost say, it would be, it's nice to see, the company saying, some of them that are saying, we're gonna eat the cost. Others are saying we're gonna add this cost. To Marco's point, they put these costs in, they're not going to go away. So to me, I would almost appreciate, within reason, obviously, charge me whatever you need to charge me, but be transparent with it in terms of put the price, put my tariff charge, just like you do with my taxes and my shipping, and put that in there. And if and when these tariffs go away, drop that charge and put the product back to what the price should be. Be transparent about it. Don't, build in extra costs that you're just going to hold on to once the tariffs do go away, assuming they go away. Obviously we don't know, but I would almost appreciate that more, right? Like, I understand companies in China or wherever not wanting to have to pay tariffs that our country's imposing. And I also understand it's the way the world works, right? But this ridiculous back and forth, I get why they don't want to eat that cost. Just be transparent about it then, right? Almost, take the stance, again, we say, you voted for this, for throwing up air quotes, you're going to pay for it. But if it goes away, then it goes away. Don't just bake in the cost and then just profit off it later. But I don't know, that may be asking too much for companies that obviously are always just trying to make as much money as they can.
And we're coming off the back of a pandemic where, like, people were at home, they were spending so much money on these luxury goods. Companies got really comfortable, I feel like, eating really well. And again, we don't know their margins, but it's like been a slow adjustment of like things returning back to normal, and now all this uncertainty. Yeah, it's all, damn, I'm scared. I'm scared a little bit for sure.
I'll be honest, I'm not scared, bro. There are worse things in life than not being able to buy a fucking toy.
Yeah,
It
let's
sucks,
just all
though.
fucking come crumbling down.
Okay, Mike, you fucking guy, get him out of here.
It's not just the toys.
No,
that are
I
worth it.
know.
Shit.
That was a hot take. I wanted to say something controversial.
Once you have the real world leak into your hobbies and into your distractions, and you think about impending death and all these crazy things start to get into your mind. So
I think about that a lot.
How did you avoid
the way that?
taxes?
Well, I was gonna talk. Let me go real quick. I think like Fern and I have always kind of jokingly said this, but like, dude, gas could be $10 a gallon, but I still got to fucking drive to work. You know what I mean? Like, shit still got to get done. You got to put your head down and you got to do it. But yeah, it fucking
They're gonna be putting $20 on pump 5.
Dude, that's the fucking Shaquille O'Neal method. Fern, what do you think about all this?
I think you guys touched them all, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like I'm too dumb to fucking have an opinion about this.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Well, he buys in Mexico, so he's
and if it is true, then you're probably better off than the rest of us.
Yeah, I know some people that were freaking out, bro. They're like lost 18% of their portfolio.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that gas method. It doesn't fucking matter how much gas is. I'm still gonna be putting $20 on pump 5. And the same thing with this. It doesn't matter how much shit as people are gonna be buying.
What if $20 is 1 gallon and you get only halfway to work? Then you're fucked.
All I got is $20, man. I guess I'm walking the rest of the way.
There you go.
Did you all see that supposedly Apple flew in like 5 jumbo planes of iPhones over here on their own dime to avoid the
that's
fucking
a thug
tariff?
life, bro. That's actually pretty hard.
That's
Not gonna lie.
fucking hilarious. Can they? Are they sure they avoided it? Trump's not going to get them later.
Yeah, can they do that? Is that?
There's a record. There's a
Palpatine,
record.
I'll make it
5
legal?
jumbo
Like-
jets came in.
Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, let's move on. I think we've touched them all here. Like Fern said, junk drawer. Val Kilmer passed away. Now this happened at the end of the show. At the beginning of Plus, and I think it was too soon to really say if it was confirmed, if it was not confirmed. Obviously now we know it's confirmed. And yeah, I just want to give us some time to have a chat about Val Kilmer. Obviously an actor that played a tremendous role in some of our favorite films. For me, Tombstone, growing up in Arizona, that was kind of like a big deal film. Been to Tombstone many times. Yeah, there you go. Top Gun, bro. Iceman. Yeah, he was an amazing actor. Gone too soon. I know, obviously, the sunset years of his life, he had dealt with a lot, and you know, for a Top Gun fan, it was so great to see him in that small role in Maverick. And yeah, this one was tough, man. This was a big one. This is a big one. There's a lot of his movies that I still need to watch. Definitely something I'm going to catch up on soon, but yeah, Val Kilmer, you know, I wish Eddie was here because I know he likes his Batman, and I know Ben likes that as well. So, what do you think, Dean Val Kilmer passing away?
Yeah, it's really, really, really sad. I always liked him more as a antagonist than like the hero. Some people are just so good at it, you know what I mean?
They make you fucking hate them, and you're like, dude, that's just acting, bro.
Yeah, dude, fucking Iceman. I fucking hated Iceman growing up. But yeah, Val Kilmer is we watched. I had never seen it, and you guys kept talking about fucking Tombstone, and I was like, all right, I'll watch this fucking movie, and it's like incredible, and it's like holy shit, like
You'd never seen it, Dean?
I had never seen it until
Wow.
we watched it for the show. And in that movie, because he's like sick the whole movie, and he's like kind of hiding it.
Yeah.
And it's such a sad part of the movie because you end up loving his character so much, and obviously he doesn't make it at the end of the movie, and
he makes it.
Yeah.
He doesn't die in the end of the movie.
yeah, I thought
He
they were
dies in
like
real life.
I thought at the end of the movie they're by his tombstone.
No.
That's not why it's called Tombstone.
I know that's not why it's called Tombstone, but I thought I could have sworn at the end of the movie they paid their last respects.
Let me
his
double
last scene
check.
is He's
No.
he's in bed.
Oh,
He's
he's
dying.
Oh, dying. Okay, I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, the
Yeah,
real
Please tell me that's not
character-
why you thought it was called Tombstone. Please God, tell
No.
me. Okay.
No, isn't the town called Tombstone?
Wait, no, wait, time out.
Yeah.
Does he die in the movie?
No.
He doesn't.
It's been a while. Doc is sent to
No.
a sanatorium in Colorado where he dies of his illness. At Doc's urging, Wyatt pursues Josephine to begin a new life. And then there's a final narration about what happened to everybody.
Yes, he does
Yeah,
not
I
die
could have
in the movie.
sworn there was a scene where they were literally like.
Charlie says he's
standing
within
by
days
his
of
grave.
dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last scene of his laying in bed, looks down at his feet because his boots are off, and he says, I can't remember the quote, but he laughs about it.
I've heard this as well. Equan says the military shows its recruits how Val Kilmer reloads a clip in Heat as an example of how to reload properly.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard many operators on YouTube talk about how well he portrayed that in that film. Which is funny because that happened to Keanu Reeves also. Where you flick the magazine out, that ended up being adopted by a lot of people as well in self-defense situations.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's really, really fucking sad. There's a few videos of him kind of towards the end of his life, and you're just like, oh my god, like that's so heartbreaking because, he's like the fucking super charismatic, fucking chiseled, like epitome of like human, like
Human
you
form,
know,
bro.
yeah, like he's just like, oh,
Good looking. Yeah.
yeah, just like holy shit, like, and to see how he deteriorated was really, really heartbreaking. But yeah, it's very, very sad.
My bad. I thought Mike was before me. Yeah, incredibly sad. This was, one of the formative Batmen, right? So, his performance, although the movie is kind of divisive, like he's still like an important figure in that way. And then I kind of, he wasn't on my radar for a long time, but then I watched the documentary. I think it's called Val. If you haven't seen that yet, like just beautifully done, gives you a lot of insight into why he is an actor, all his struggles, and then just like how much of a great career he had, which I don't know that I fully appreciated until watching that documentary. So after seeing that, I was kind of prepared for this moment, I would say, like for him to pass. It did, kind of the reality of his situation kind of sank in. So I felt like I've been appreciating him for a while now. Incredibly sad to have lost him. We're all really fortunate to have had him and all the performances he's left behind. And yeah, just a beautiful soul. So RIP in peace. And I will just say, for anyone saying the Hot Toys Anakin, we talked about that maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes ago
20
or
minutes
so.
ago,
So
yeah.
yeah, just rewind about 20 minutes.
Yeah, this was, I guess it was sad, but not like shocking, right? Because as we all know, we kind of knew this was coming sooner than later. I mean, what you know, you want to talk about sad, to Marco's point, watch that documentary, man. That was kind of heartbreaking to watch, to see everything that he went through. Yeah, like most of us, I mean, I know I'm a little older than most of the guys here, but you know, I grew up with Val Kilmer's, you know, going back to Real Genius, which if you haven't seen that, it's a classic, brilliant '80s movie of just, you know, a bunch of college kids, you know, goofing off and trying to get back at their professors and stuff. So definitely check that out. But yeah, his list of stuff it's really amazing, right? I mean, he's you know, it's not somebody that went on and won a bunch of awards and stuff, but his work was just quality from start to finish. So definitely a loss. You know, again, it's hard to say it was really sad, because I feel like it's been sad for a while. You know, I fought back tears watching him in Maverick. It was great that they got him in that and played into his illness so well. You know, it was heartbreaking, but yeah, man, you look at some of the stuff, you know, between Heat and Tombstone and Batman and, you know, Willow, and I'm sure there's more. The Saint is a fun movie if you're looking for something that maybe other people aren't suggesting to check out. His library is solid, man, and he probably never really got the credit he deserved, but you know, I guess give him his flowers now. Yeah, definitely take a look back. It's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, fuck you, Disney, for shitting all over this character too. Fucking cocksucker.
Yeah, right.
Wait, which character?
Mad Mardigan.
Oh, Mad Mardigan. Oh, is he in the sequel?
Mad Mardigan.
No, they fucking character assassinated him so he'd never show up.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, fucking cocksuckers.
Charlie says the greatest gift an actor can give is a performance which you are moved by. He had several notable popular characters in film, and that Tom Cruise demanded that he be in Top Gun in a meaningful way. Fern, tell me about it.
Yeah, like Mike said, this wasn't like 100% unexpected with everything that was going on in his personal life, but it's still very sad, you know. And to me personally, like celebrity deaths I'm kind of like, you know, about it, but like this one is one of the ones that like hit me the hardest, I think, since like Kobe died, because like this guy, I made a little post on Instagram, but anybody that knows me like personally, like cousins, friends and stuff like that, know that I'm like the hugest Batman fan. And it all started when I my first introduction to Batman was Batman Forever, and his version of Batman like just really it captivated me, you know. And it's just it's a performance that I've loved still to this day, and it's just like that movie is really what shaped my whole love for the character. And it's just like ever since then, like I've always watched all the Val Kilmer movies, whether it's the Doors biopic, you know, Tombstone, what's the other one with Tom Cruise?
Top Gun, Maverick.
Top Gun, yeah, there you go. And that special little the special thing they did in the newest Top Gun, it was really nice that they included him. I didn't think they were, but they actually did. But yeah, it was very
good ass scene, bro. Good ass scene.
Yeah, and yeah, it was just it was very sad, and yeah, he's definitely one of those legends that will be missed. And yeah.
Just iterating as sad news, and hard to still believe in a lot of ways, because you see him here, you see like he's still is only 65 years old. I know he was again having struggles, but you see someone in their younger years, and it's still hard to believe. But my biggest connection is definitely the Batman movies and the Top Gun movie. like the original. But yeah, and I kind of forgot about Tombstone though, but I'd seen that recently as well, actually. So
Have you?
yeah, but
I think the real
science,
question, Badfish, is have you actually seen him in any of these films?
yeah, but the science one you talked about though,
Real Genius.
Yeah, I thought it was Real Science. Sorry, yeah, never seen that one. Sorry, but
Even his character in Heat is a cool character.
oh geez, yeah, wow, totally forgot about that. But yeah, that's a great movie too. So
And he played Elvis in True Romance.
Did he really?
If you guys have never seen True Romance, do yourself a favor.
Let's see.
I don't think I've seen that one.
There's a new Star Wars animated show on May 4th, Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. Does anyone want to take a crack at this? We'll if not, we'll move on quickly for time.
Yeah. Why the fuck are we back on Cad Bane? He fucking died. We know his fucking story. Can we please not? Asajj, I don't mind. Asajj is cool. They kind of cut her story short because of the way Clone Wars and Lucasfilm, that merge happened, and then yeah. So I get finish out her story. That's fine. But Cad Bane, really? Why the fuck are we doing this again? It's like fucking Darth Maul. It's like, just let him die. Just stop, please.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's see here.
Just really
Killer.
quickly, can I just say, yeah, I'm not a child, so I won't be watching this, and probably will just rewatch Andor season 2 again instead.
Wow.
Did you watch the Goonies Star Wars?
You know, I never finished it, but I was really enjoying it. I need to go back and finish it. Like I liked the
how's
first.
That? That's more for children, I feel like.
I don't know. It had some more mature themes. I thought I liked that
You
one.
like that?
You know,
Really, a bunch of little kids running around has mature themes, and Clone Wars doesn't.
It felt that way. Yeah.
Isn't that, I thought it was just a shot at Eddie.
That's
Mostly
fine.
a shot at Eddie. Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of children's shows, Killer of Killers Predator animated trailer came out. We probably won't have time to watch that, but Dean said it looks pretty good. What did you say, Dean? It was like the art style of what show?
It's kind of like the art style of Arcane, and it's by the director of Prey.
Nice.
And it's like I don't know if it's like a time travel kind of thing, or if this one predator like comes back every few centuries, because there was like Vikings, and then there was,
I think that's
like,
what they do on the show.
yeah. Then there was like War of Planes, and then there was like futuristic planes. I don't know, unless it's some like dystopian future kind of thing, but it looked interesting. I saw it right before the show, so I didn't spend a lot of time watching it.
That motherfucker got traps, bro.
It's huge.
This reminds me of like an N64 character or something, or like PS2 character or something. I don't know.
It's like that photo Fern showed of Tua's new helmet for the 2025 season, where he's fucking looks like fucking Juggernaut.
Have you seen the guy
Tua.
with the that wears the VR
Cyclops?
headset? He's like talking to Jarvis. Jarvis, give him the physique of DK Metcalf. Have you seen that?
Wow, no, that sounds
I'll
amazing.
send
though.
it to you.
Make her 9 feet tall.
Switch to
jiggle?
Direct. Here's a quick rundown of that.
We can
Metroid Prime
skip
and
this, fuck
Pokemon
Nintendo.
ZA are getting Switch 1 and 2 versions, along with many other big Nintendo games. What is Pokemon ZA? Is that a new game? I don't know what that is.
It's the same Pokemon you got last year.
Yeah, the
I
year
see.
before. It's
Yeah.
your
Lots of-
typical
well,
Nintendo product.
Lots of Switch 1 games are getting small add-ons that will use the mouse feature, which Dean says this was in the commercial, but I don't really think it was. I called it, and I'm giving myself a point for that. There's a new 3D Donkey Kong game that releases July 17th. The Switch 2 will run on 120 FPS and 4K with 256 gigabytes of storage. Seems a bit low, but that's basically a PS5 specs. 120 FPS is only available in compatible games. More titles will be added to the Nintendo Classics GameCube line, which this is a paid service add-on that has many different consoles. Super Mario Strikers might be kind of hard though. I might have to get that. Mario Kart World is a huge new Mario Kart game. Some of the tracks will be open world, which even in the commercial where they were showing it looked fucking stupid. But then again, I'm probably not the target audience for open world Mario Kart. It's a Switch 2 release game, which people are saying at $80 price is pretty insane. I will say, I do completely agree. I don't think games should be $80, but when you look at the historical pricing of games, they haven't really kept up with the price of inflation. And so, you know, $50, $60 games, they were $50, $60 back in the 90s and the 80s. So I'm not saying that's a good price or that they should be that price or that I would pay that price, but might be a shift with some of the new things happening in the world. Switch 2 will have a Discord-like feature to play games with friends and a camera feature. A lot of people are saying just use Discord, but I think Discord probably isn't super Nintendo friendly, and so having their own Discord-like experience for younger kids, I could see that being a thing. Though people our age,
PS5.
yeah, but the PS5 audience and the Switch audience are probably a little bit different. But you are not incorrect. Is it on? I think is it on Xbox also or no? Discord.
Probably. I don't have an Xbox.
I don't believe so.
It's not.
They
It's not.
made it. I think they like made us an exclusive deal with Discord or something.
I see. There's a new Zelda game coming winter 2025. What happens before Tears of the Kingdom. And this is now, I guess you can pre-order the Switch 2 at other retailers, or at least you could before Nintendo paused pre-orders. But for Nintendo's own pre-orders, supposedly the plan was that if you're pre-ordering direct from Nintendo, you have to have a Switch. You have to be a Switch 1 owner with an active Switch online membership and have spent a certain amount of time playing and or purchasing paid Nintendo Switch games, prioritizing those with more playtime. In the Nintendo Live videos on YouTube about a lot of this stuff, Dean pointed out a lot of people were basically saying drop the price, that the price of $80 was too expensive. And even some of the prices for updating old Switch 1 games to Switch 2, I think it was about $10 to $15 price increase to get them up to spec for Switch 2. And with all the fluid changes in tariffs and whatnot, Nintendo's actually paused pre-orders of the Switch while they reevaluate global trade conditions. So
yeah, it's
pretty crazy, pretty hectic few days for Nintendo there.
$450 for the Switch, which has an LCD screen, not an OLED like the Switch before it. So that's already a downgrade.
Crazy.
$500 if you get the bundle with Mario Kart, which is you're getting the game for $30 off. But to play, you have to buy their online service, so you can't just play with your friends off the bat. You have to pay them again. I believe you have to buy the
which, to be fair, is how Xbox and PlayStation does it, right? You can't play online with them. Yeah.
But their consoles are also not glorified fucking cell phones.
You're not wrong.
I forgot what the fuck it's called. Their processor, which is literally like a fucking cell phone thing.
Yeah.
Now they're claiming all these specs, but then in the fine print, all on certain fucking titles. Then on all the games you already own, you have to pay them again to upgrade it. I believe you have to buy the all the peripherals, right? So if you need the extra controller, the controllers are fucking $90. The camera is like fucking $50. So if you want to use the fucking Discord thing, which I'm sure you're gonna have to pay for too, you got to buy the camera. $90. Okay, so the games are $80 digitally, which is fucking insane. And we've talked about that before on the show, where it's like, aren't they supposed to be cheaper if they're digital since they're not fucking manufacturing discs and shit? But anyway, it's $90 for a physical.
God damn.
physical version of the game, but it doesn't actually include a physical version of the game. It's just a fucking box. You're paying for a box, and the box has the code to download the game in the fucking store. So you're still not getting a fucking physical copy. You're paying $100 for it. So 2 games is $200. Fucking damn near half the price of the fucking console. One of the fucking hate Nintendo so much, dude.
One of the pushbacks I've seen on the pricing is that Spider-Man 2 digital has been $80 for I think over a year and a half, 2 years. But you're right, $80. I didn't know about the $10 more for the physical. I remember they tried to do that at Best Buy. It was, what was it for? It was a game, but it was, yeah, you're right. It was like, I wanted to buy it in the store, and they handed me like a gift card, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I felt like a fucking boomer. They're like, oh yeah, this is, you scratch it off and you have the code. I was like, well, I'll just fucking go home and buy it then. How the fuck am I gonna buy this fucking card that, you know, they were saying might not even work? And I feel like a fucking old man.
I read this thing somewhere that talked about how the only reason why video games cost as much as they do is because the stuff that they take to make the physical copies. And it's like now that we're falling into more of the digital era, like digital copies, there's no reason why they should be going up in price. They should be going down in price.
Right. Which was their whole...
development costs are skyrocketing though, right?
They're
like
skyrocketing because these companies are fucking
longer.
Ballooned out of fucking size, and they have one person for every one fucking job. Where it's like, why do you have fucking 400 employees making a fucking Mario game? Like, it's fucking insane. Like, and Nintendo again, it's like, oh, what's your release? Another Mario Kart, another fucking Metroid Prime, another fucking Zelda game. It's like,
even in the open world Mario Kart thing, the guy's like, yeah, you could, you know, go to this restaurant and pretend to get a slushie, and I was just like, wow, that's never have I wanted to do that in fucking Mario Kart.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Nintendo's...
And again, maybe I'm not the target audience, but I was like, that's so silly.
But yeah, it's like Nintendo knows that their fucking audience will fucking buy it no matter what. But I don't know. Now it's dude, I have not seen a single fucking positive reaction to any of this. Everyone's pissed collectively. Yeah, it's a bad move for $100 games. Because if you don't think fucking EA or Rockstar or whoever, in fact, Rockstar talking about GTA 6, were saying that they wanted to do a subscription based. It's like, well, these people have thousands of hours in GTA Online. Why only charge them $60 for the game? We could charge them fucking $30 a month.
Yeah, why charge them $60 when they can pay $60 4 fucking times to buy the game on every fucking console?
On every
because it's been out so fucking long.
Yeah, and it's like these fucking companies are getting way too fucking comfortable, fucking raking people over the coals. I just, you know, there are very few games where I have been like Elden Ring or a Baldur's Gate, where if I had paid $80 for those games, I would at the end been like, that was worth it. But I don't know any game off the rip where I'm like, I'm willing to spend $80 on those minimum. Because now you're talking again,
beach volleyball,
extreme beach volleyball.
Yeah,
I'll just
$80 off the rip, bro.
Like it's just a bad move in the wrong direction, dude. It's not good.
Yeah. I think that's a great take. Let's bounce off these last few. Tron Ares official trailer was released this past week. We also did get a Superman clip, which I saw in IMAX, and I thought it looked fantastic, though I don't know that everyone agreed in our stable. HBO also released a Coming Soon to Max trailer, which had a bunch of different clips from the shows that are coming out this year. And a lot of
This is
people
just a
were.
burning car.
Yeah, that's coming soon to Max too, apparently. But yeah, anyone want to touch on any of these quickly?
The Tron. I saw so many people be like, "Yeah, Tron," and then they're like, "Oh, it's Jared Leto." Do people really fucking hate this?
I
dude
fucking
that
hate
much?
Jared Leto.
Dude, honestly,
it made me not want to watch it when I saw it was Jared Leto.
I don't.
Unless he says
particularly
it's
mind-
Troning time, then I'm not watching it.
I made this comparison earlier, but I feel like Jared Leto's the Heath Ledger Joker of the movie industry. Like,
That's the craziest
people are
sentence anyone has ever said.
They're just tired of seeing Jared Leto and everything.
I take it.
He's
He's been in
Zach's
3 things.
Pedro Pascal for everything else.
Oh, let's not.
He was.
Let's not.
He was.
Let's not say that.
The Joker, and then he was in 2049, and then he was in fucking vampire fucking shit movie. Like, what is so egregious about this man that people fucking hate him?
I mean, I
It's
don't hate
fucking
him, but
crazy.
Yeah.
He's in so many movies. What are you talking about?
What else is he in? I just named 3.
Dallas Buyers Club, Requiem for a Dream, American Psycho, Fight Club, The Little Things, bro. He was a fucking
How many
weird creeper in
movies
that
are
movie.
someone's allowed to be in? Sam Jackson's been in fucking 80 fucking movies.
Yeah, but his movies are fucking good though. There's a huge difference, bro.
Is American Psycho not a good movie?
That's not my favorite film, to be honest.
Okay, well, I mean, you keep moving the goalpost. Like
How?
What?
He's
like,
not a
he's
good
in
actor.
too
That's
many
my problem.
movies. It's
Yeah,
like,
but he's not a
okay.
good, like Pedro Pascal. He's not a good actor. You fucking Samuel L. Jackson is fucking Samuel L. Jackson, bro.
Okay.
Like Dame Judi Dench. I fucking watch 55 movies with Dame Judi Dench, excuse me, but I'm not gonna fucking watch 55 movies with Jared
Who the
Leto,
fuck
bro.
is Judi Dench.
Okay, Fern. You fucking
What?
stupid slut, Fern.
Anyway.
You know what's a good movie? That
Tron was
Ghost,
cool.
that Lions of Savo movie with Val Kilmer. That's a really good one that we forgot to mention. Ghost in the Darkness. Anyways, this trailer of Superman looks so fucking good in IMAX. Honestly, not even because of anything other than the fact that I could actually see what the fuck was happening in the movie. Because I was so fucking tired of the DCEU trying to fucking squint to see what the fuck was going on. This movie looked beautiful. Or rather, the scene looked beautiful in IMAX. I don't know anything about this guy or if I think he's going to be a good Superman, but it was just very vibrant and colorful, and it made me happy.
Realistically, there's only one person that didn't like this trailer, but he's not here to defend himself. So
How dare you?
I'm not gonna say anything.
How dare you? Yeah, Paul Schreiber says his face. Oh, there you go. Dead or Alive Venus Vacation Prism Gang paid $120 for it. Jesus Christ. Let's see here. D and CW Plus, we're talking 90s nostalgic figures for those that are staying on. That'll be on for the Patreons in the Patreon chat. Can we say thank you to the Patreonies, please?
Yeah, give a quick shout out to Captain Fordo, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerino, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Billy Badfish, Luke Skywalker, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Big Ol' Fern, Caesar Markwin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Jose CZ, to Cothry, Arias Portillo, Alvin J, Aurelis Delgado, Toy Cartel, Sean Forrester, Harry Dempsey, Sith Scale Collector, Jared G, Alberto Cortez, Big Rib, The Big Donk, Trevor Weed, Darren Ilderton, Don Baton, Stephen Pritchard, Sean Usby, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Parent, Exodus, Abe Dunk TV, and Gigi, The Judgmental.
A bunch of angels. Beautiful people. Every single one of them. The loves of my life. Let me do that real quick. Let's see here. We have the Maximum Spooderman sticker for March and April and the Movie Night Live sticker going out. We have 4 tiers, the hot seat for $5, which is all the digital benefits, including the Patreon chat. Sweet Angel for $7.50 a month gets you stickers sent straight to your door every other month. The $15 and $25 tiers get you the certified crispy certificate or the What a Guy Pog Deluxe set and doubles while the stickers on your first tier respectively. We have wonderful channel members. We have 12-inch Moose Dream, Absolute Irwin, Alex Black, Aurelis Delgado, Ben Thomas, Big Rib, Bob Dylan, Chris V, Clinton Martin, CT603, DJ, Eddie, Money, Mendez, Gerber, Hodor, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Card, Jazzy, King Dingling, Luke Skywalker, LV Avenger 702, Michael Elliott, Mr. Sketch, OG Fan, 16 Figure Focus, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Giss, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Trevor Weed, Universal Key, and Mike's Adventure World. You can become a YouTube channel member for 99 cents if you are a Patreon, or $2.99 if you are not. You get loyalty badges and custom chat emojis, as well as member shoutouts. There's a look at everything there if you want to take a gander. We have... I think Dean, it's not movie night this week because Chris is out of town. Badfish, what do we got this week?
It is not small talk.
Okay.
I think Mike and I.
Small talk's when I do
something.
recycling.
Okay. Like what?
Like a movie night. Unless Mike doesn't want to.
No, we'll just hang out. Oh, we should do something for Val Kilmer.
Ooh, watch Ghost in the Darkness.
Good idea.
No.
It's a good movie.
I like that movie.
What was that? Real science? Real...
God damn it, Badfish. It's real genius.
Real genius.
What a fool.
That could be good, actually.
We have Plus after this, After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Just Another Friday Night. Some Fridays, I suppose. Just kidding. But they'll be on usually most Fridays. OFAC, Small Talk, and Movie Night. Alternating.
Shit.
What can I say? Any shout outs that we want to give? Shout out to Pete, Papa Pete. It was his birthday yesterday. The Jewel in the Crown turned the great 5-0.
Wow.
Never met a more beautiful Englishman. Shout out to everyone that participated in Secret Project. If you know, you know. Shout out to David, the crawfish, for his noble sacrifice. Any other shout outs that you guys want to give?
I'll have a shout out. Yeah, just shout out to the Secret Project as well. I'm watch the Z-Logs, and yeah, thank you very much.
Shout out to the guys in the limited release chat for making sure I made it to the top of the list today.
What?
Wow.
You love to see it.
When you're too slow, you're too slow, you know. And when
Fucking
you're locked
bullshit.
in,
I come here
as
to
Aries would say,
entertain. I give all my focus to the show.
It's because
This is
Marco's
what
on
I
his
get.
phone during the show. Yeah, I hate to hear it.
It
How much I sacrifice?
Say, what was that, Badfish?
Is that...
Go ahead, Marco.
Marco was so quick. I didn't even see him like stake the first spot. I was like, how is he first?
I need it.
I had to look like 7 times to see what happened.
I figured there was going to be like 10 people already in that chat, but I guess not. I guess I was first.
Walked right in the door, bro.
No, Zach's going from like, oh, bro, if you're late, no problem. We'd rather have you late than not at all. And then he's slowly turning into, all right, just don't even show up if you're going to be that late.
No, I didn't say that to you. What are you talking about? The only thing is I play a silly clip when you come in late.
No, I love it. I love it.
So it
I know
reminds
Dina's
me
saying
though
that,
of buying video game collector editions. The trailer comes out, you go there and like you forgot about, oh, the collector's edition was released when the trailer for this game came out, and they're all gone like a day later or 2 hours later. It's like, well, fuck. Apparently I needed to log in as soon as the trailer dropped.
You got to be Johnny on the spot, bro.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. But anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
Mike.
I'm Badfish.
Yeah, I'm Fern.
Love you guys, and we'll catch you. Okay, wow. Where's the wrist shot, Badfish? I've been waiting on this fucking wrist shot, bro.
Hey, I'm busy boy.
I'm pretty
Nasty
sure
boy.
he's already sold it.
I don't even know if he ever got it, bro. It might have been CGI. It might have been green screen. Love you guys.
Anybody
The
could do it.
Canadians
Chris would do
hustled
it.
us.
Yeah, Chris could. He made a whole fake
Holy
business. This
shit.
kid, was that really Badfish? We need to check the tape.
That guy, I
Love
don't
you
know
guys.
I don't know if I could ever trust a word out of his mouth again.
I've never seen you wear a hat before. Love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.